Is 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball, striking out 10 with no walks. Abner Uribe, however, gave up all 3 of San Diego's runs in the ninth. Uribe hanging a slider to Gavin Sheets, who didn't miss, hitting a 3-run bomb for the win.
You have to swallow it. That's part of it. You're going to have 3 or 4 of these every year. We got some great performances tonight. We faced a really good pitcher who we got out of there and left some guys on base, but still, Misiorowski was really, really good, especially in the middle of the game. And then Ashby was really, really good, and Abner walked a guy and made a bad pitch.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy. The series wraps up this afternoon at 12:40. Kyle Harrison pitches against Griffin Canning. And the full NFL schedule is out tonight. The NFL announced a Thanksgiving Eve night at L.A. for the Packers. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys down and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Let's get it. Insomniacs, sociopaths at the health club. They were waiting there. I saw them. Early risers who like to see the sun come up at 5 a.m. in the summer in the good land. Welcome into the Thursday edition of the Huddle, broadcasting live from headquarters on 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. For those early risers, we got a Power Pack show today because it's NFL schedule release day. We get to find out when and where the Packers are playing the opponents that we already know that they're going to play in the 2026 season. I'm Drew Wilson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian. We also have to work through the grief of a tough Wednesday night at the ballpark. A brutal loss by the Brewers.
You have to swallow it. That's part of it.
Whoa.
You have to. It's part of it.
Yeah, I'm like
right.
the shower theory of you leave it at the ballpark and that's it. You put it away. That's about as quick of a night to try and forget as you possibly can before a 12:41 today. But you know, it's almost like you could have seen it coming. It's almost like you could have seen it coming when Abner Uribe's first pitch legit almost decapitates his Dominican Republic World Baseball Classic teammate. Just might not have been his night at the old park last night. And sadly, Gavin Sheets got one too many 0-1 sinkers with an opportunity to make him pay.
Yeah, that was an ominous beginning to the inning. But
he
gets the
flipped
out.
the slider up there and almost like threw it to the backstop.
Right.
Almost took the guy's head off or to hit it through the backstop. His first pitch.
But then he gets two.
So as I'm processing last evening's events, I'm thinking to myself, all right, we're going to focus on Uribe and the hiccup. We're going to focus on the fact that the offense didn't do a lot. They scored one run. You don't win many games scoring one run. Mm-hmm. Or we're going to focus on how awesome Miz is. Good God.
He is Drew. He's one of the most electric players at that position that we've seen. Like I don't know that we've seen a young guy have that kind of ability to. I mean, we've had great young pitchers in here, and I'm not trying to take any away from Sheeter at the time when he first came up and things like that. But the electricity in the building, the must see TV energy that he brought, and then also a little bit of just swagger that we thought was maybe a little bit of immaturity a year ago. Now I got to imagine it's downright just disdain from opponents the way that he's lining them up, shutting them down, and letting you hear about it afterwards.
He's a supernova. I mean, and Sheets is a good example, Billy, I think, for his air to come up, but even he wasn't pumping him as hard as Misiorowski's been doing it, with the fastball, obviously, but also with the hook, just complete command, control, and like you said, Billy, the confidence. He's a supernova. He's something special. You just pray for health and all those things, because he truly has a special track going and a special future, and he's ours, which is great. And you waste I don't want to say waste, because it still matters what he did last night, but it was a bummer that you couldn't get the win just for him, because he deserved to get that last night in the moniker. You can't pitch any better than that. That was absolutely special.
He goes out for the 8th, warming up. It's like, they're going to let him venture north of 100 pitches. They're going to let him pitch the 8th and shorten the game. And then he has whatever cramping or whatever issues he had and couldn't pitch the 8th.
And seeing a starter in the 8th these days is like seeing Bigfoot.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Big time. Miz is special. Like, when's the last time we were this excited about a young player? Early Rodgers?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is because
he is Giannis-like in that you're just watching him scratch the surface, I think.
I was going to say there's a little boyish wonder that's a little bit different too, because Churio you knew was going to figure it out, but he didn't start out 9 straight no-hit innings, right? Like, that's the other thing. Buddy Tim used to always say, when's our guy coming? When's the guy that just walks into the big leagues and is awesome? Because it does seem like there have been a number of different teams where you walk in and this guy is at this level of good, at least a very productive big league player. Bronny would be the first one that I would think of. But that's now bordering on 20 years ago that you had somebody walk in and instantly be one of the best players on your team.
And a position player there, right? So I thought about Bronny. I thought about the Fielder Weeks day when they both homered, when they both came up. I think it was a Twins game.
Yeah, it was June.
So that excitement of those position players, but for a starter, because even Burns started in the bullpen and Woodruff and those type of guys. So, Sheets is probably the best example, but in that sport for a pitcher, when he first came up and did it, you remember Cal Aldred 92, but it didn't sustain. It wasn't the power and the stuff that Miz has. So Rodgers, I guess when Brandon Jennings first took off early on in his career, we were excited about that. Giannis took a few years to reach his greatness, so it wasn't exactly the same. But we're seeing possibly history, right? It's super special what Miz is doing.
It is. So just, amid the loss and the kick to the nads, in the grand scheme, losing to a good club like the Padres on a Wednesday night, sucks for the moment, but you can move past it. But watching Miz is like, you got to take the bigger picture. You got to pull back a little bit.
You can definitely enjoy that one. The Uribe part, though, Drew, when you go down the laundry list of things to focus on, I do almost wonder if you get one and then we'll start counting them, right? Like, do you get one blow up, one mislip, and then we'll start really keeping a keen eye on it? Because it did feel like we were all so excited that he took that mantle, but it hasn't necessarily been absolute nails ever since he walked in there. He's been good, maybe not great though.
No, and I don't know. It's like your whole team revolves. The confidence comes from the closer spot, and I gotta say, watching that game unfold, I'm thinking to myself, I might throw Ashby out there for another inning. He's filthy. He's really good, and it's like he pitched the 8th without problem, and then you're getting to the heart of the order in the 9th. And I get it. Like, you want the closer, you want that, it's like it's almost ceremonial in some ways. Totally. You're up 1-0.
Get the light show.
My thought was, and again, you're playing backseat manager, and anything you do is wrong if you give up the lead.
For sure.
So if you leave Ashby in there, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
You got to Uribe. What are you doing? And so Uribe and McGill had pitched the night before, and I was thinking to myself, well, if Ashby could nail this down, and I don't know if that was the plan. If Miz had pitched the 8th, would Ashby have just sat down because he was getting hot for a while?
I was gonna say, he was getting hot in the 7th and then had to be ready in the 8th, right? Okay.
He was getting he was in line for potential dry docking, to use the phrase that to use a derivative of the
I was
phrase.
Gonna say a nice side swipe of the phrase. But I like
the phrase. Actually, it rhymes with bump, but the dry bump. Dry, when you warm up a couple times and don't get into a game, you get hot. It's like an appearance. because you're
For
getting ready
sure
to the bullpen and then you throw a bunch of pitches and you don't get in the game.
And you get the full up and down experience. So it was like a multi-inning appearance.
You almost count that as an appearance in a game if you're a really. So I don't know if Ashby was in that kind of zone, but I'm thinking to myself, all right, well then I got McGill and Uribe, and they could have avoided Mason Miller, who is also
just unreal,
also great. Like he's doing what Miz does on the back end of the game. So you can second guess that, but then I'm thought, what's the point of that? Like Uribe, you want someone to be the closer, you get him there. You worry about tomorrow wins thing. Murph's thing is always win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't really quibble with it. Like I was thinking it. I'm like, oh, Ashby looks so good, man. He had to be tempted to leave him out there, like roll him out there for another inning, at least let him pitch till somebody gets on, maybe. Or
you got to be tempted to have that dude pitch all night, right? Like I don't know that I'd ever want him not. He pitches every night, so I'd want him to pitch as much as possible. Top of the lineup coming up. I can't say that I would have not loved them trying to trot him back out there, but I would have been in line, like you mentioned, to hey, why would you not have just done what I did? Because it would have totally worked, and we would not be in this situation right now. With Tatis, Machado, and Andujar, there's just gonna be nights that it's clearly not your night, and whether or not that did tweak him out or just a sign of a little foreshadowing things to come. I mean, you throw that first one to the backstop, it never feels good to me. Like that's just one of those nights where I don't believe anything is going to potentially go your way, and it took a while, and then it was a single, a walk, and a homer, and shout out Sheets because he doesn't miss the mistake, but it's clearly a mistake, right? I mean, throws a bad pitch. He had 18 pitches the night before, not too surprising, but for them to be in a spot where you're only counting on and giving yourself one run of cushion, that's the bigger one to me. I would love to have more of a closer conversation because I think it's a better one and a more provocative one for the radio. But man, you got to be able to put more runs on the board, as our friend Paul Wagner would say, more points on the scoreboard when you're one of 10 with runners in scoring position last night.
Yeah, that would have totally taken you out of your issue, even if your closer does have an issue with giving up a run, which is going to happen sometimes, right? That's just the reality, and you can't win many games scoring one run. The Brewers almost did it last night, but that's not the way you can live. So you have to find a way to get the offense going a little bit more, take advantage of opportunities so you can avoid those situations. But last night was the personification of the Ashby problem. I mean, Murph loves to push the Ashby button for that very reason, because he's so good and so reliable in those high leverage situations. So this, we've talked about it earlier this week about, Ashby getting a lot of innings, and this is the real life manifestation of this issue. It's like, you don't want to overuse him, but you want to use him because he's so important. And those games you need him, you need outs, and he gives them to you. So it creates a problem. It creates a problem, but it's a good problem in some ways. But you have to find a way to get more runs so you don't have high leverage all the time.
And then the natural instinct when your team loses like that is to look for justification, look for reasons, look for rationale, as Chris and Lodi does on the Talk and Text line. 877-794-1973.
I like this one.
Looks like Miz is the pitcher this year that gets no run support.
There's always one. There's always one that walks out there and never gets any love and help.
Now that sounds great, but he just pitched Friday night and they scored 6 for him against the Yankees.
Yeah, and
they scored 6 the start before that. He started on opening day and they put up 14.
Yeah, that seems an anecdotal recency bias.
I would say, yeah. Mrs. starts, the Brewers have scored 14, 8, 2, 7, 3, 3, 6, 6, and 1.
Yeah.
So he's the guy that's not getting any runs. By my math, they're averaging almost like 6 runs a game when he scores. Now, 14's an outlier when you have a small sample.
Yeah.
But Chris, that's not a narrative that we can extrapolate yet. We can't say that.
Not 04 Sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not that guy. So
also might be a little tongue in cheek, but you also go in there when you're 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, and he hadn't given up a run in any of his May starts. So if you were thinking about getting your Potawatomi Sportsbook ticket for Cy Young Award, doesn't make much sense now because he's 14-1. He started the year at past 40-1. So this was the time and this was the situation to be able to go get him.
6 hits and 4 walks in 18 and a third innings in May, with by my math 29 strikeouts.
That's pretty filthy numbers. I mean, it's just it seems video
He's
game
got
stuff.
4 double-digit strikeout starts
Wow.
so far this season. So Miz is special, man, and just enjoy him. Felt the same way watching a young Giannis. It's like, it's must-see TV, man. Just got to enjoy this.
But I mean,
Enjoy the
again,
ride.
a young Giannis was like gangly and not putting anything up, and you were waiting for him to start getting starts, right? I mean, like
Wow.
this is the dude that walks in and
But
because he went his first 3 starts without giving, or 2 starts without giving up a hit until like the 6th inning. This one is almost deserves a little bit different category. And like Rodgers is fun too. Rodgers sat for 3 full years, and that first year was nice. He was a good quarterback, but he wasn't one of the top starting guys in the league, right? Like, so I mean, that's another bar that you're starting to climb when you walk in and they put him in the All-Star game a little early last year after 5 starts, but that kind of buzz has never, I think, been seen.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think did Braun homer his first game getting called up?
Ripped one off the wall in his first game.
yeah, he didn't homer. Jenkins homered in his first game.
That might be the closest. I mean, but to keep up that performance and then to say, all right, you're just doing things most players have never done in terms of the power, the speed of the pitches, and what he can do. Yeah, it's. Because Giannis was a curiosity, an athletic guy.
Yeah, but
he
Giannis
would dunk
would
every now and then.
Yeah, Giannis would show you the thing, like when he would 2 steps from half court.
He would have moments,
He had moments.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, really, he didn't sustain it, but it was Jennings almost from the start was having that big rookie year and then the big crazy performances. But this might be, you're right, Billy, unlike something we've ever seen. And it's pretty cool to be able to witness that and to understand that in the moment and say, hey, this is cool.
It's cool to have a guy like that. Now the Brewers, they didn't win the last 2 years. They haven't won a series against the Padres. The Swinging Friars are a good team. Swinging Friars entered last night in first place ahead of the Dodgers. So this is a good outfit. Now, did it suck? They're down to their last strike. Well, that's what good teams do. How many times have the Brewers done that to teams?
I was going to say, man, a great morning that would have been if that was a Brewers comeback win. Ooh, that feels good.
Yeah, no doubt. So they're feeling good in San Diego today. I was wondering about that too, because I talked to our pal Mark Grant, the Padres TV analyst, one of the great guys in the world, not just in sports or baseball, but in the world. Mudcat he's just always fired up. He never has a bad day. He had a great time at the ballpark.
People.
Loves coming to Milwaukee, and the Friars are good. That's a good outfit. And some things never change. Manny Machado's still getting booed. A lot of people don't know why,
baby.
but they just boo him from almost 10 years ago.
It's fun, dude. It's fun. It's fun when that place starts rocking and blowing, just trying to gas that dude up out of the batter's box. Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
So they get down to and they've been a really good 9th inning team. Their offense in the late innings is good. They've got the back end of their bullpen is airtight, which is why you don't want to be trailing against them because it's a 6-inning game if you don't. So it's not. It's like that was a disappointing loss, but. I can see it. You're going to have some of those. It was. You're going to have some of those. So, Murph in his postgame said, you're going to have a couple of those a year. You do. And it sucks, but everybody goes through it.
There's going to be like 10 to 15 games a year that are decided in that fashion. And you just hope that you're 8-7, right? Like you just hope maybe you're at 500 or a tick above it because the likelihood of you, we joke about it with teams in the NFL. If you're playing a lot of 1-score games, Drew, it means you're not really a great team.
You're not a great team.
You're going to blow a lot of both of these two teams are going to blow a lot of teams out.
Look at the
with
run
those
differential.
offenses.
Exactly. Look at the run differential. That's what's going to tell you.
But man, when you're talking about absolute gas, you start it with Miz and end it with Mason Miller. That is a Velocity fan's dream last night. I imagine that pitching ninja cat was just sitting on his couch. Like the South Park meme.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just all over the place.
And now that he's locating and mixing his stuff up, it's just nasty, man. It's in the best way possible.
Uribe threw 102, I think, at one point.
That's the thing.
His fastest of his career. Yeah.
He was throwing
and he
hard.
hung a slider, and the guy hit it out down to their last strike. So, tough loss. But again, now, Brewers haven't won a series against the Padres in 2 years. And I don't play them that often, I get. And if they do win today, it'd be a 5-1 homestand against New York and San Diego. I'm taking that.
That'll play.
I'm taking that. I mean, that's pretty good if you can rack that one up. So it would have been nice to get last night. Didn't happen. We'll continue to talk about that. We're going to listen to Hunter Baumgardt's recap. Hunter joins us live today at 7:30. But we also have the NFL schedule. We got a little morsel yesterday. They threw us one. And for the first time in 3 years, boys here in the huddle will be off on Thanksgiving, enjoying Thanksgiving with the families, watching football on the couch as it was meant to be.
God intended.
3 years in a row, the Packers have played a Thanksgiving game, 2 on the road and 1 at Lambeau. And we get a respite from that. We get a break. Now, we have to give up Whiskey Wednesday, one of the best nights of the year to go out. But the Packers at the Rams the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as the NFL continues to act like a vampire squid and suck money out of every day and every couch cushion and everywhere they can find it.
I absolutely
They're going
love
to
it.
do it. We'll be working on that. We'll be working on that Wednesday, but that's better than the alternative. Thursday is going to be a nice day for us, which is going to be excellent. So we're going to wait for the schedule to come out in drips and drabs. I'm flashing back to that year that Matt Schneidman dropped the whole thing at 6 a.m. and we had the whole day.
I was gonna say, Drew, let's get
go.
back in on it. Somebody steal that PDF. I know it's in email boxes all over the place already.
Somebody works in a printing shop and they already have it.
Send that bad boy in. Come on.
And that's another thing about Hunter is he likes to predict the schedule and stuff like that.
His favorite, yeah.
He likes to do that when it comes to playoff games, and TV games, and this. So another Hunter hobby we will explore. So when we come back, we'll hear Hunter's recap from the ballpark. Take your thoughts about the Brewers, about the Miz. Yeah, it sucked, but it's still exciting to see Miz go for 7+ because he went out and warmed up before the 8th. So that was pretty epic to see. We're going to have some fun today. It's schedule release day. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Thursday edition of the Huddle, schedule release edition of the Huddle. Any leaks yet this morning, Billy? You're searching the X. We're on Facebook, X, and YouTube streaming. We're coming at you live on 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison on these airwaves and interwebs. We're talking about Miz's start, obviously, because it's as exciting as it gets. In a one-run output by the Brewers, a 3-1 loss.
So good.
Oof. 7 scoreless for Misiorowski. Retired the last 14 batters he faced. He ended his night. Now, it wasn't supposed to end when it did, but he cramped up coming out for the 8th. But he finished his night against Nick Castellanos, with pitches of 102, 102, and 103.
Man, being able to grab back for that easy heat at the end of the game, that's remarkable stamina.
No one has ever thrown 49 pitches at 100 miles an hour plus until Miz did it last night.
It feels like nightly he's doing something like that. What was it? The Yankees start, it was the most 103 mile an hour pitches in an inning anybody had ever had. He's got one of those per night. But I think the crazy thing of it, Drew, is we had wondered, was there going to be a point where he was touching, 100, 101, and that was going to be where he lived? No, it appears that he's going to live at like 102 if you can do that in the 7th inning.
The thing about last night was his slider was
it was gross.
That was
on
the thing.
point. And I mean, he was throwing that for strikes.
Right.
And his slider comes in at 92, 93, and it breaks. And you can't, it's impossible. You got to guess, basically. You got to sell out. I'm going to guess. I'm guessing slider, and if I'm wrong, I have no chance.
Well, that's the next level of his dominance. I mean, last year when he struggled, it was when he couldn't place it or he couldn't locate it. It was just all fastballs. So as fast as you go, eventually a guy can time it up and that whole thing. But when you can locate both and when you can disguise both, that's what makes you totally unhittable.
Who had the hit up the middle for them? Was it Sheets? I think it might have been Sheets. Was that his second hit?
I was going to say, I think it was 2 hit.
One up that came in at 102 and went out at 105, and it practically Charlie Brown Miz up the middle.
Yeah,
almost knocked all his clothes off. But you don't see much great contact against Miz when he's dealing like that. So what he was doing was kind of unprecedented. In his last 3 starts, 18 and a third scoreless innings, 29 punch outs. His ERA is 2.12. And he's got 9 games and 80 punch outs to lead the majors. He's on a Cy Young track right now. And having your best player be your number 1 starter, that doesn't happen very often in these parts.
No, very much not, Drew. No. It also
Armen mentioned Sheets.
Yeah.
And maybe Higuera during the peak of his powers was
their best
player.
Yeah.
But he's like Miz right now is like it's far and away their best player is their opening day starter.
And it's also, I also think it's a difference when you're the Pirates, all due respect to the Pirates, because I know that they're battling and they think that they're in a different spot, or like the Sheets Brewers, where nobody was expecting a whole lot from you, and you knew you were going to have the one token all-star, and like, oh sweet, there's the one game that we have to worry about, and then 4 other ones that will have a whole lot. But when your team is dominant, is really good, and that guy is coming up every 5th day, that's next level. I had wondered in our wild ass predictions before the season, I predicted that he would come close to 200 strikeouts. He might have 200 strikeouts by the All-Star.
I was gonna say he could blow that away.
I'm like, I was wondering if it was going to be an innings issue, Drew, of how many innings that he was going to touch because of how much they're going to really ramp him up. Are they going to have to tone him down later in the year? No, he's going to blow past that number, it would appear.
To have 29 strikeouts and no runs allowed in a 3-game span, the only other Brewers pitcher to do that was Corbin Burns in 2021. What did he do that year?
Yeah. Won that bad boy.
Won the Cy Young.
Now, going to be a tough Cy Young to win because you have the flavor of the month and everybody's love of Skeens. Ohtani has been disgusting on the mound.
Ohtani can't hit, but man, he can pitch. He pitched last night.
Yeah. He is dealing so far. And, the other one, the skeletal remains of Chris Sale, has been really, really good throughout the year. So it's not going to be an easy one to win. He's going to be in the conversation. And frankly, I think that's one of the most impressive things of, we say it right out of the gates. Your second year in and you're in the conversation for that award. There's only a few guys that have done it. And then also think he was committed at one particular point in time to go pitch at LSU.
That's right.
Him and Skeens would have been in the same rotation.
Wow.
What a disgusting combination that would have been to walk up into.
Crazy, huh? Just to think about that.
Who's in town? The Tigers with Skeens and Misiorowski. All right, sweet. All right.
All right, well, I guess take a couple days off.
You know what, man? I got I got this meeting with my academic advisor. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I'm sorry. I don't know that's going to happen.
Miz, his strikeout percentage this year is knocking on the door of 40%, which is, for a closer, you can see it if you're Mason Miller.
I'm going to say that
you're
those
going
are
1 inning at a time. Okay.
reliever numbers.
But this is like, whew. So yeah, we're glazing Miz today, but he deserves it.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's also just cool to see. Armen, you always say it with like Fonzie.
Yes,
that would be Miz right now, even though he's the nerdy guy, right? Like, all right, sweet.
That's funny. Yeah,
he's strolling up onto the mound, 6'7" lanky guy, and he's gonna gas you at 103.
He would be the nerdiest gang leader of all time, but right now he is leading the gang. I mean, like, you just have a special set of confidence knowing that guy's going for you every fifth day. And when you're maybe a Sproat or a Kyle Harrison or some guys in that bullpen or even the offense, you're like, you know what? Okay, he's our deep breath guy. He's our streak stopper. He's all that stuff.
So Miz, last night, he's pitched 24 big league games regular season, a 3.38 ERA, 117 innings, and 167 strikeouts. Now, again, like 24, that's roughly for most guys now in the load management era and stuff, that's almost a full season. But if you can kind of, you ballpark it with like 30 starts as a full season. Like, Billy, to your point, he's way over 200 strikeouts for if you give him this many.
Maintain his health. I mean, that's the main thing. You gotta maintain him. I mean, there's some guys, coaches and things like that, you worry about, like let's coach him to pitch well or pitch better. You don't have to worry about that with him. You just got to maintain him right now and make sure you're handling him the right way to give him the right amount of performance plus rest and keep him at that optimum thread the needle kind of level.
And I love the fact that Skeens is in the division. So you can kind of measure them and like
I was going to say
against each other and see which one of them can knock on the door striking out 300 guys.
It sure would be fun if it was the old scheduling where you had 18 or 19 meetings between the two teams because you knew that you would get a game like last year. And that's why, I mean, they sold it out on the blink of an eye with the Skeens start a year ago against Misiorowski. I imagine there's going to be a lot more of those. And also, lo and behold, I like the fact that you can line it up right now and forecast that he's going to be pitching in that series against the Cubs. Because as much as last night's disappointing, 1,000%, not trying to make everybody feel too much better, it was the night of the comeback. I mean, Dalton Varsho, Wisconsin's own, hit a walk-off granny for the Blue Jays. After they came back from being down in the 8th, they tied it in the 8th, gave up 2 in the top of the 10th, and then scored 4 in the bottom half. The D-backs were up 3-0, gave that thing all the way, or the D-backs were down 3-0, up 5-3. They had the Rangers down to their last strike 2 or 3 times. Rangers came back and won, and let alone what we all saw in the playoffs last night. So it was a night in sports where if you had a lead, it was the worst position to be in. And it seemed like every game ended that way. And now, all's well that ends well. Cubs lost last night. You lost last night. No ground lost. No issues. Still ironing up and hoping that you can make that series next week. That if you walk out of there with a 3-game sweeper, you end up taking control.
That would be nice. Yeah, that was the one other bummer because 4 losses in a row now for the Cubs. So I was already kind of, eyeing that cookie of picking up a game on them. But yeah, that would be nice. If you could walk in within striking distance and then just go dominate them, take the lead back. Yeah.
877-794-1973.
So you asked if we had any more schedule leaks, any other information regarding the Packers. We have a pretty good authority that they're going to be in week 2 going to the Meadowlands and taking on the New York Jets for their home opener. That is the only other one that is kind of locked in with the Packers, other than the Rams game on Thanksgiving Eve. Can be surmised because there was a statement from Minnesota writer that the Bears and Vikings, Ben Gessling had that Bears and Vikings are going to be week 18. That would mean that the Packers would take on the Lions in week 18. So 3 of the 17 games for the Packers lined in. Everything else kind of on the board. We're at 16.5% on the grid. So we got 227 games still remaining on to being able to figure out before we get the full 272 dialed in later on tonight. But some other good ones like Thanksgiving night. You mentioned it, Drew, that the Packers are going to kick off the largest Thanksgiving slate ever. Pretty good slate. Packers and Rams on Wednesday night. Bears Lions, the morning game or the noon game on Thanksgiving. Turkey Day dinner is Eagles and Cowboys. And then the nightcap is Chiefs visiting the Buffalo Bills
in the new stadium.
In the new stadium,
rocking.
That will play Friday, Black Friday, Broncos and Steelers. So, I mean, until a certain number 8 puts a pen to paper in Pittsburgh, could that be him going back to Heinz Field and taking on his former team?
Ooh,
I don't
wait
know.
now. I'm not saying.
I'm
just saying.
Just saying that would be a fascinating development if the NFL schedule makers wanted to toss that little bad boy in there. That'd be a nice little cookie.
So far we know it looks like Packers Lions at a site TBA week 18. Packers at Rams on the Whiskey Wednesday, the evening of Whiskey Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and Packers at Jets September 20th in the Meadowlands in the Tyrod Taylor homecoming.
And we got a lot of home openers. We got a lot of week 1 games already on the docket. The one week 1 game that a lot of people south of this border were hoping for. They were excited. They thought that their team had made it to the point where they were supposed to open up the NFL season against the Super Bowl champion. Chicago Bears will not be taking on the Seattle Seahawks in the opener of the NFL season. That will be a rematch of the Super Bowl.
We didn't think they'd
Seahawks
throw
and Patriots.
Vrabel into this mix, but they're going to be promoting the hell out of that.
Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? That'll be a fun one. Yeah. I love it. Juicy.
Cannot wait for page 6 to be taking up spots in an NFL press box on opening night. That's a beautiful thing.
It's also nice to know, just one more time, like to Bears fans, you're still not that guy. All right. You're still not opening this.
You
thing.
get the Carolina Panthers.
You're still not that guy. It's not your turn.
I knew Armen would have a smile on that one.
What do you mean, Billy? It's Bryce against Cam.
2 number 1 overall picks,
sure.
dude. It's the matchup of the trade. It's a fascinating one. It's also a great way for the Chicago Bears to get a dose of reality. Carolina Panthers, good football team.
Very good. They
both division champions last year. Packers got a little smack in the mouth by Carolina, and I like that ascending for the Panthers there into the keep pounding area.
And it will be interesting. That's one of the things. And this Packers Bears thing, we're going to be, we're in the cage flinging banana peels and feces at each other, right? Packers fans and Bears fans.
Fun.
But the schedule does tell you at the outset what the league thinks of your team. Like, what Vegas thinks of your team because there's over-unders and there's, but the league, where they put you. Can you make a case that playing the Wednesday before in a standalone game on Wednesday is like more prestigious than playing on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, Thanksgiving Day is a big ratings, but this is the first time they've done that. And it's like you're standalone. Packers, Rams, they know that that's going to get eyeballs.
They know that's going to get a huge number.
An Amazon game, right, on Wednesday?
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
And they want to make sure
eyeballs.
Netflix makes that money back for that $200 million they're
so
paying.
They want
for that
the eyeballs.
game,
So they gave them that. So what marquee games? I mean, who gets more primetime games? I still think it's going to be the Packers.
I would think it's the Packers. The Bears are going to be close, and I'll say this. I mean, I would be surprised if both of the Bears-Packers games aren't outlined for prime time right now.
Yeah, it would sure.
Right, one of them feels like it will absolutely be a Monday night or a Sunday night, and the other network's going to be salty. They didn't get one, so I got a feeling it's got a chance to go to that one.
And will the Packers play a Thursday going into the Wednesday?
Yeah, and that's where my man scheduling nerd, NFL nerd on X is just like locked in the Packers and Rams for that bye the week before. I don't necessarily know that it will be for sure. Pretty safe guess, but I would believe, Drew, you're playing a Thursday either before it or after it, right? Like you're
almost have to.
You're playing it and you're sandwiching it around somewhere in there. But for somebody that has not really gone out on Whiskey Wednesday for the last couple, I'm excited. Like that is one where I'm excited to be able to be belly up watching the Packers beat the brakes off of the reigning defending MVP.
Yeah, I would have been more devastated about that like 10 to 15 years ago. But I don't think, it wasn't happening for a while anyway for me. So
how was your hit percentage on Whiskey Wednesday?
Very bad. You're not really because that's when you're really just coinciding again with your high school friends. First of all, that wasn't the goal. And second of all, that was okay because it wasn't happening. Well, what's she going to do? What's she going to do? She's got to get up early to help with the turkey and help with the mashed potatoes.
It's even better. It's even better.
It's just not happening.
No cuddling.
It's just not happening. There's always a drop dead point for everybody that night. Well, the responsible ones, and those are usually the females. So it wasn't happening that night. No, that was just more of a time to just forget that aspect of it.
Armen, where you're working?
Tell stories with all the old friends. Go to the Bosch. I mean, that was.
There you go.
That was the way to do it.
I thought that was the time for the prom king to reassert himself at the top of the food chain.
I thought that too the first couple of years.
877-794-1973.
Ladies, you're welcome. He's back.
Talking text line. It is the Thursday edition, schedule release edition, and we're basically a Brewers pregame show because they play the Padres today at a 12:40 first pitch, is it?
You better believe it. Kyle Harrison on the bump. They win when Kyle Harrison's on the mound.
Yep. Let's get after it. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Dominating a Thursday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Billy Schmidt, Armen Sarian, and our friend Hunter Baumgardt. Hunter Baumgardt was at the Brewers. He covers the Brewers for us like nobody else. He has a little Milwaukee Baseball Tonight show this evening He'll be at the ballpark with the Brewers for the series finale against the Padres this afternoon, 12:40 first pitch. And Hunter has a recap of last evening's proceedings and the Miz start, brought to us by Import Minded. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. It was a gut-wrenching loss last night for the Brewers. A 3-1 loss to the Padres snaps their 5-game winning streak, and unfortunately, Gavin Sheets with a 3-run home run off Abner Uribe was the difference. But we can't forget about the job that Jacob Misiorowski did. 7 shutout innings, didn't walk a batter, 10 strikeouts. It was his 4th game with 10-plus strikeouts this season, which leads the major leagues. And guess what? It's his 5th straight game with 8-plus strikeouts. That ties the record for the 2nd longest streak in franchise history with 8-plus strikeouts. Ben Sheets did it twice in 2004. The record, 7 straight games with 8-plus strikeouts, and that was Corbin Burns back in 2021. But Jacob Misiorowski said he didn't even feel like he had his best stuff working for him last night.
I honestly didn't feel like I had my best stuff. Like, I thought I was spraying those first few innings, and what helped a lot was the guys over there. They were swinging, and they were putting balls in play, and some were falling. But that's probably the biggest factor of it all.
Now, the good news: Brewers manager Pat Murphy and Jacob Misiorowski both not very concerned about the cramp that he felt when he tried to throw a warm-up pitch to go out and pitch the 8th inning. Both were not concerned. Shouldn't be an issue. But it is to note that he's dealt with cramps in 2 of his last 3 starts. Brewers will go for the series win today. Kyle Harrison on the mound, 12:40 first pitch. And I'll have you for Milwaukee baseball tonight from 6 until 7 this evening on Fox Sports 920 in Milwaukee. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
Thank you, handsome Hunter. He'll be joining us at 7:30 today.
I loved Hunter grabbing and finding that stat. It looked like it was trying to run away from me. Grant pulled that leash right back.
You're not getting
That's
away from
phenomenal.
me.
Don't you move.
Lasso and bring that thing back in there. That was great, and great for him and Spencer, because he didn't have to tape it again, which is always one take Hunter, I'm sure. Because if he missed that, he probably would have had to retape it and all that. But Hunter can handle it with one take. And I love the quarter zip for Hunter last night. Rocking that quarter zip, looking good. And I love Miz just casually saying I wasn't even my best stuff. I mean, how G is that? Like, I didn't even pitch that well last night. I can do a lot better than that. I just got, they kept swinging at stuff, so it was fine. It worked out. Man.
The only person I would like to hear how G is that hear more than Armen is hear Jacob Misiorowski say it.
I love that.
I think I would like to hear them. I think I'd like to hear both of you guys go back and forth with different slogans.
Yeah. The other starter, Michael King, not the Milwaukee Wave venerable legend forward Michael King, was pretty good for the Padres too.
Solid.
And that game wasn't quick. We had the couple of reviews. We had the first 3 innings took an hour.
Mm-hmm.
The entire game took 2.5 or 2:37.
A longer game for nothing happening.
Yeah,
right. Like a longer game for not a whole lot going on.
It was trending to about a 2 hour and 17 until Uribe stepped in.
Yeah.
I would. I will say I was unfamiliar with Michael King's full game. Is he doing like a full goblet squat before he throws the pitch?
He does that squat and then he throws across his body. He's got a weird his weird delivery, weird to pick up that and. That's 100 squats a night, basically, that you're doing on average. Did you see? And this is something we got to talk to Wags about, because Miz has the big stride because he's tall, and you see where he plants and the hole that he creates. Pitchers in their mound is there. Yep. And so pitchers like it. If you're a right-handed pitcher, or if you're on one side of the rubber, you like it when the other guy's on the other side and he's not stepping into your hole. And
it's a clear path there.
It's a clear, And you could see the two distinct, and they were like, far apart from each other.
1.5 difference.
Where King was landing, but he also throws across his body and he has a kind of a weird, goofy delivery, whereas Miz is like more, I would say, conventional.
Yeah.
Now, there's all kinds of pitching sleuths out there, and this is so funny because it's a little bit like the geeks who watch, offensive line tape. Shout out to Reegs and our draft nicks. I'm watching his feet, and I watched him play against Akron on a Wednesday night in Maction, and I don't know if that guy's gonna be able to play. And there's a lot of people saying Miz's delivery means he's going to get injured. That's a bold proclamation, predicting that a major league pitcher is going to get injured.
Wow. Way to go out on a limb there.
There's people doing that, but I watch Miz and he seems compact. It seems like effortless. Could he put on some bulk and would it help him? Maybe.
That's
maybe
a key,
not.
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, the leg cramping thing, well, just drink more Gatorade, eat more bananas. I don't know, whatever they have to do.
Yeah.
To it.
When you have
get Jacob a
supreme,
banana.
that's just part of having supreme athleticism, right?
We need to have a travel ball mom though on the team because she's going to make sure that he has as much Gatorade and bananas as possible.
There is a good chance that, I mean, all pitchers basically get hurt at some point.
Everybody.
Right?
Man
all
wasn't
do.
meant to do that.
That's the thing, is because he's such a freak. Is this biologically sustainable that he can do this for a long time, for a career, for a season? Can he throw at this? Because we've never seen it. We've never seen guys throwing 103 into the 7th inning. It just hasn't happened. And so he's the outlier for sure, but that doesn't mean it's not sustainable. And people who are projecting injuries, I think they just want to be Eeyore. They want to be Armen, like the fan who's like bracing for the worst.
It's also, Drew, the same guys that say, well, Lamar Jackson's not going to work because he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But
they all do.
Then he also has won 2 MVPs, right? Like, so how long it takes for that breakdown to go. Chris Sale's another great one. He's a long, lanky guy. He's 37 years old and right in the middle of the Cy Young candidacy. And I think he's had at least one Tommy John surgery, right? Like, so I mean, like, everybody's going to have that blip, but I also think
and DeGrom and other hard throwers. But that's pitchers in general.
The other thing is, and we'll see it with Harrison here today, I think the Brewers have been more diligent on do what the most natural throwing motion of what your body is. As much as we've tried to put limits on guys early on and the growth and development, it's how you're developing these pitchers and what you're forcing their arm to do, how they deliver the baseball, make it as natural as possible, and maybe you're able to avoid some of that.
If Miz sustains this, and if he throws a slider like he did, and then either his curveball or if he gets like a little changeup or something, I don't know how you're ever going to hit this dude. I'm not sure
how anybody is not
going to be
just brown pants every single time you're in that batter's box when that's coming at you.
All right, 1 hour in the books. Dolph joins
so
us at 6:30. Hunter Baumgardt live at 7:30. More NFL schedule talk lies ahead. And there's also a major event taking place this week that no one's paying attention to. We will discuss in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The Miz was on fire, but Abner coughed it up in the ninth. So goes game 2 for the Brewers against the Padres last night at AmFam Field. After Jacob Misiorowski blew through 7 innings and Aaron Ashby handled the 8th, Abner Uribe gave up a hit and a walk, and then Gavin Sheets stepped up.
Sheets hits it in the air to right center field. Freeland going back at the wall. It's gone! 3-run home run. Only Sheets on the road in Milwaukee. With 2 down in the ninth, it's a 3-run home run to put the Padres on top.
Padres TV on the call. They were pretty happy. 3-1 the final score. The series wraps up this afternoon with a rubber game starting at 12:40. Kyle Harrison pitches against Griffin Canning. The full NFL schedule is out tonight, although there will likely be leaks throughout the day. We do know one Packers game, Thanksgiving Eve night, Wednesday, November 25th at LA against the Rams. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hits. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Thursday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, Armen bringing it to you on NFL schedule release day. Nice that the Brewers play a day game today. Clear the deck for everybody to watch the schedule unveiling.
Oh, God, can't wait.
But
right?
if you had to guess, how many of the 17 games will we know before they fire up the old television show? All of them, because it's coming out in drips and drabs. We got people with the spreadsheets. We got half the Bears schedule already.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing week 2 Monday night against Philadelphia. Is that what I saw?
Week 3 Monday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 1 they lead off against the Carolina Panthers. They get New England on a super special Thursday night. Sunday Night Football against the Buccaneers. So prime timers for those guys, no doubt about it.
We're left with the first concrete one we got. Well, we knew the Packers weren't playing an international game, but the first concrete one we got yesterday was that they're playing the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is new territory for the NFL. Netflix tilt. And then as you look at it, like, well, then they're going to have to play Thursday or have a bye week before that or after it to get back on the the wagon. So it's fun to speculate, but it'll be more fun when we just have the damn list in front of us. Like, wouldn't it be better? I know they have to wait for prime time, but just like, all right, the release is going out in the morning. We'll have a show to talk about it all. Like, here it is.
Well, in
6 a.m. Here's the whole league.
I've also doubted exactly how many people, even though I have a sick, twisted love affair with the National Football League, I don't know how many people are really changing their viewing plans to watch you release the games.
Right.
But they're doing it, and they're going to get a number. They're going to have people watching. They're going to have a lot of excited folks waiting to be able to see exactly where their games are going. This used to come out at 2:00 on a random Tuesday, and instead they're like, wait, we can make it not only a primetime event. They capitalized on that for a few years. Now we can make it a full week-long event. Oh, sweet. Let's do it. And when in all reality, the first announcement of a game is the most impactful thing and one of the most important things for these broadcast companies to debut at their upfront moments and conferences, I understand it. I don't like it. I hate it, actually, because it should be a succinct thing. We should know this before the draft. But it's way too big a business. And when you're pulling almost $200 million for a Netflix one-off game like that Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, you're gonna have to acquiesce a little bit, and I do understand why they make it the spectacle that it is. I think we're gonna know a decent amount of them, Drew, but I can't say for certain we'll have almost the entire thing, because that's a gift from the gods when somebody just releases the PDF. I know it's out there. I know somebody has it. I know it's watermarked. Somebody might know. Just like those NFL report card grades that were
those are great.
by the court was, you're allowed to do it. You just can't make it public. And by that, 1,000 people are going to get it. So somebody's just got to tweet it out. Somebody just needs to tweet out the damn schedule so we have it.
That'd be nice. Hit us up 877-794-1973. Get you to the talk and text line, which is available for sponsorship. If you own a business and you want us to talk about it on the regular, what better way? What better vehicle than that? Well, maybe sponsoring the show or the studio.
All of which are available.
All available.
Yep.
All great. Yeah.
Reach out to us. We'll get you in touch with our people.
Yeah, at Armen Sarian at iHeartMedia.com. Justin in Jacksonville hit up that talk and text line and had a question, because the other one that we kind of know is that it's been leaked out. The Jets home opener is against the Packers week 2. So week 2, surmise Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, Zach Tom, all coming off of major knee injuries.
Let's see him.
Well, would that have been a difference? Because I do believe Parsons is going to be pushing hardcore to play. Kraft would be closer on a timeline to be ready by week 1. Be interesting if they would change that up, because that MetLife Stadium turf is underneath real grass right now. But when they start playing NFL games, they'll have to move that back over.
Yeah, that's right, because
they have the real
for World Cup.
Yeah,
right?
they have real grass for all of the World Cup action, but they'll make sure that they pull that back when their own players are the ones playing.
Pretty crazy to think about that. It just goes to show you what could still drive sports influence, and I guess the World Cup can, but not the NFL. That one shocks me. It would be nice for them to keep the grass, but it's also not a real football team you're playing in the New York Jets. So
the World Cup is going to be a lifeline for us, something to talk about, because it'll be interesting how it plays here in the States
to a point,
summer.
Right? Yeah, to a point.
But yeah, Darren Ravel just tweeted someone of the airlines had a billboard like, to watch Portugal play in the World Cup costs you $3,000. To fly from the United States to Portugal be $700. So you can either see Portugal play soccer, or you can see the country itself. I've heard great things about Portugal.
Lisbon, man, you got to get there.
I'd like to visit. But, yeah, I want to go there. All right, like we mentioned, 877-794-1973. Miz was brilliant last night. Brewers lost a tough one. Series finale today. We are awaiting the NFL schedule release. Drips and drabs. We'll have a lot of it, maybe even more of it by the end of our show when we get off the air at 8 a.m.
Come on, Billy Huber.
But
there's
a major event happening. It's underway. The PGA Championship.
Hey, how about that?
That's a major for golf. And that's one of the most let's ready, aim, shoot off one of our toes things that's been happened in sports recently is the PGA Tour adjusting its calendar the way it did. Not only because it's like selfishly they've eliminated Wisconsin from hosting a PGA Championship because of the window. That's the biggest. Like, no I in team, but media starts with me.
Yeah.
But like it's just swallowed up. Like the PGA a major championship. Usually there's buzz, there's build up, and now it's on the heels of what a month ago was the Masters.
Yeah, and like they run them now once a month. So you have the Masters in April, this one in May. You'll get Father's Day weekend, right? The U.S. Open,
and then the British,
and then the British a couple of weeks later.
The Open Championship.
I just you mentioned you hit it on the nail on the head. Selfishly, I just don't understand why you'd move it, because now we can't have one at Whistling Straits, and it's way too good of an event and way too good of a spot to not highlight and have a yearly PGA stop. But like it kind of gets swallowed up. Sure, May is a wasteland of sports, but people are also like just breaking out of the cocoons that they've been in all winter long. And the other thing is, Drew, I felt like we always were worried about trying to avoid August and the behemoth of the NFL. Well, August football is maybe the worst football you watch.
Exactly.
I'd rather watch UFL football than preseason NFL football.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you could load this thing up right there in the middle of August.
Yeah.
The PGA was always like, your fourth draft pick. And when they ask you when they show you a picture of 4 girls and they tell you to rank them,
it's always Ringo Starr, right? Or whatever.
It is. Yeah. It's always the least of the least.
Thank you. I
least.
thought that was pretty good reference. Yeah.
The PGA.
I totally get it too.
Yeah. But there's no buzz. It's in Philadelphia, suburban Philadelphia.
That sounds right. Yep.
It's
like
funny. You talk about shooting in the toe. Like that's the biggest storyline is Rory's toe. Like the biggest storyline is Rory got a blister on his toe. And I'm like, I can't draw myself to be that interested in Rory's toe. I'm sorry. That's the storyline, I guess.
There's just no juice.
You get any pictures of it?
No, I don't have it. I just saw him like writhing on the ground in pain in the golf outfit, which isn't funny.
He was, I was going to say, I saw the one picture of him sitting there with his foot out, standing by the tee box. That would potentially have a lot of people enjoying it on certain websites. But it's a blister in the sun for a team or for a sport that, other than the actual events, I feel like the most exciting thing is talking about everything that happens around golf, right?
Yeah.
Like the business around golf has been what a lot of people have been excited for. Also, maybe we just need Scotty Scheffler to get pulled over and arrested again.
I was gonna say you need an arrest from
that was
the
PGA
Mr.
Championship,
Rogers.
right?
I think was that Drew? Do you remember? I can't remember when he caught the case there.
Yeah, I don't remember which tournament that was either. PGA, USO, I don't know. Anyway, it's like
it was Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 24.
Yep, 24.
Which is like funny because it's so weird and it was such a weird situation. He's like the Mr. Rogers of golf, Also really good, obviously, but
they're in Philly this week. Next year, the PGA is in Frisco, Texas, I believe, and then it's the Olympic Club, Baltusrol, Congressional. Then they go to South Carolina, Southern Hills, Bethpage Black. So they've awarded the next several years of PGAs.
Sounds like a bunch of places
like the PGA when it was in Wisconsin. It was great, but now it's off the radar for me.
Well, and I mean, I also struggle with the Masters is a beautiful event, and the tapestry is gorgeous, and the scenes are awesome. I don't really know anything about this super special spot in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. I do want to see Scotty Scheffler play. I'll watch I'll watch a little bit of it, but this will be Sunday viewing for me, right? Like this will be getting a little bit of Sunday viewing if Sunday is not Game 7 day, which it might not be after the game that we had last night of the Cavs going and stealing Game 5 out in Detroit. Felt like it was going to be potentially 2 Game 7s there, and now you might just have to find something to do in the middle of the sporting week. I also struggle though, Drew. I would love to be big time golf guy. I would love to be guy that breaks it down and knows all the different swings and analytics. I leave that for everybody else trying to act cool in sports media, because I do believe there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I just don't. Golf for me is going to be a retirement pursuit. It's so funny too, because I had this discussion with my mom. I come from a golfing family, right? My grandmother's family farm is basically now North Hills Country Club in Menominee Falls.
So they're all golfers, right?
So they grew up. All my uncles and on my mom's side, hardcore golf family, right? I didn't get that gene. And when I was in high school and junior high school, my mom was like, "You should play golf. You should. It's a sport you can play for the rest of your life. You'll enjoy golf." And I'm like, "Yeah, I got the rest of my life. I can only run track, play football and baseball and basketball now."
Right.
So I got, I got time is on my side. And I think I did okay on that. Now, do I wish I was better at golf? I used to play early in my career when I had days free, and I would, I used to play a lot. And then now I play 1-2 rounds a year tops, like the last 10 years. And so I'm looking forward to retirement and picking it up again and trying to, attack it with the, when you have nothing else to do but hit balls all day. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be my exercise. It'll be my getting away from the wife for 5 hours. It's gonna be great.
And I've never been good at practice, right? I never liked practice. So for me, going to the driving range or going to hit balls and going and working on my chipping, working on my putting, that would make a lot of sense. That would be how you get good. Drew, I can tell you this. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that. And especially with your boys now.
Now,
you'll take your boys out when they're older and you're going to have some fun playing on the course with them, but it'll be recreational for you. And it's like, but again, I don't hate it. I don't hate, people think, oh, you hate golf. No, I don't hate it. I love watching the Masters, but I hate that they move the schedule. I hate that the majors are done by the 3rd week in July. We're done with majors for the year. What are you doing?
100%.
Like, why? I don't get that self-inflicted gunshot wound to the foot.
Was there really the thought that you're running into a behemoth ratings wise of baseball? Right, like did you really have to get away from different preseason stuff? Like Derek and Whitewater's like, what are you guys talking about? It's at least 39 degrees whistling straights. Again, if you were listening, we said that if you didn't move the schedule, We could have it in
August
like
3rd.
they did a number of different times.
Yeah.
And again, it capitalizes on a spot in the sports calendar where you don't really have a whole lot. Right now, you got NHL and NBA playoffs, both absolutely cooking. Baseball just starting to get into full bloom. Kids are finally getting out of school. And it's like you said, you're halfway through your events where in all reality, outside of the hardos golf guys, there's about 5 or 6 events most people can name.
And a
couple of them are for fun, like the Waste Management and John Deere. This would be one of them.
You want to test somebody's mettle as a true golf nerd? Who won the FedEx Cup last year?
Oh, that's a great question.
Hell if I know.
I can't remember.
I'm going to guess Rory because I think he won everything last year. But yeah.
And so Rory's won back-to-back Masters, right?
Yeah. Right? Yes. He's won back-to-back Masters.
So,
But that's the one thing about golf that they really, that's the disconnect I've always had too, is like, if you're really into golf and you're really into playing and really into the sport, the people that are really into it are super into it, like anticipating the majors and like anticipating the tournaments and things. But if you're not, I feel like it's out. It's hard to be super casual. And even if you enjoy playing golf recreationally, like Billy mentioned or I do, why do I care a lot about these guys that are playing? Like how does the sports fan aspect get into it? That's always been my disconnect,
When the PGA was in August, you got the week of build-up. You looked forward to it because, like, okay, here's the last major of the year. And, like, you're right, Billy. It was slim pickings at that time. Tonight and today, like, oh, yeah, PGA's going on. Where is that? I don't even know. It's like we got playoff games to watch in the NHL and the NBA. We got the schedule release. We got, Miz throwing, Ohtani throwing. Like, there's no bandwidth for it. Other than the golf hardos, who cares about the PGA this isn't that the idea? Aren't sports trying to make their tent bigger and let people in and get more people under the tent? Now it's like, oh, this is just for the hardcores. Because who else is waking up early to watch and took off work to watch the PGA today?
Yeah,
I don't know anybody.
I don't know anybody.
Bedian and Zabe.
Yeah, I know people that would do it. I know people that would do it for Masters. Again, it's also like the NASCAR deal. You start out with one of your best events. You are going to lose some kind of steam. We do have something. We have to have something to look forward to. Hey, shout out Statman Steve for getting it right. Tommy Fleetwood won the FedEx Cup. I think I would have named like 8 different golfers before I would have named Tommy Fleetwood. So there we go.
By the way, in honor of our buddy El Baldo, our former coworker Zabe, he always say nerds, golf nerds, and he admits he's a golf nerd.
Fully, he admits it.
But we lost Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds this week.
We did. Rest in peace.
Donald Gibb.
Donald Gibb, yes.
71. Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds passed away. We didn't recognize that, so we got to tip our cap to Ogre. He was in a lot of other stuff too. Bloodsport, character actor and a former football player. He's kind of like his generation's Matuzak or something. But yeah, he was a football player who best known for being Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds. Now we also lost Robert Carradine too, right? Was he Lewis or Gilbert or which? I don't know. He was one of the nerds. Yeah, Robert Carradine died earlier this year too. So, but yeah, Revenge of the Nerds, classic movie.
He was also in a lot of those 90s sitcoms that I enjoyed, like as a character actor.
Another movie that there's stuff that happens in Revenge of the Nerds that couldn't get by the censors today.
Could you imagine?
Never work.
Could you imagine those
like
cutting
Animal
room
House
floors?
And oh boy, yeah.
We cannot put this on screen.
Absolutely.
You guys trying to get canceled
Absolutely
right now?
So
This will be my weekend though, Drew. You mentioned it, the 1 or 2 weekends a year. This Saturday is one of my 2 golf days. I got the big Arrowhead football open coming up on Saturday.
Oh, I bet that's a massive, classy event.
Very big time.
White linen tablecloths on the picnic tables.
So I haven't swung since last year up at the Children's Wisconsin Brian Butch outing. So we'll see how it goes. I am going to set the standard, the bar extremely low, but that's why scramble golf is my kind of golf.
That's the only thing I've played mostly for the last 10 years.
But let me hit one. All right, sweet. We're using that one. We're using yours.
Yeah, exactly. Just put the
baby Johnny, way to put it out there.
Put the driver away. All right, that's safe. That'll play. Let's go.
I might as well not lose.
You might as well. And if you can knock a putt close from 45 feet or something, good job, Billy. Take it and shower up.
Use one drive and one putt, and I'm good for the week.
Yeah,
really good for the year.
Absolutely. All right, 877-794-1973. Come at me, and I'm not slagging on golf. It's just that I don't like the way they've managed their business.
Thank you. We're not telling you your business is bad.
Yeah,
you just did bad business.
I would pay more attention to it, but right now, no. It's not even on the radar for me.
No chance.
Well, and that's the thing. Jeff said the NFL is what made the PGA move the PGA Championship because the NFL swallowed up events at the end of the season. But now no one cares about August football.
That's true.
No one could care any less
cares
about preseason football because it's never mattered less.
Yeah.
Throw that bad boy right in the middle of August.
I'm sure the ratings reflect it. I'm sure they
For
do.
sure. No doubt.
Absolutely. All right. Billy, in order to tune up your golf game, maybe you should visit my friends at Game Day Men's Health. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. They do testosterone replacement. They do peptide therapy, which is all the rage for people in the fitness industry and working out. Get one of those stacks, one Wolverine stack or whatever. Check it out. They have the weight loss peptides, the strength building, fat cutting, whatever you're looking for. There's a peptide for that nowadays. Game Day Men's Health is a cool place, like going into a Supercuts. Great environment. The clinics are all over the place. One in Middleton, several in the Milwaukee area. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find one. Sign up for a consult. Go get they'll put a little pin in your finger, take a little blood draw, and you'll be on your way to see if they can help you. If not, just grab a cold drink from the fridge and a snack and be on your way. But if they can help you, they will discuss in detail the way that they've helped thousands and thousands of men regain their mojo, because testosterone starts to dip after you reach your 30s. It dips every year. It creeps up on you. That lack of energy you're feeling, that mental fog, the weight gain, it's avoidable. It's preventable. And Game Day Men's Health can help. So visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. When we come back, a man among men, Scott Dolphin, will join us here in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Continuing the Thursday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, Drew, Billy, Armen. Happy to be joined by our halftime correspondent, Scout Dolphin. Midpoint of the show, Dolph is in. Dolph, you're a man for all seasons. We were just ragging about the fact that, meanwhile, back here among the tire and strip club ads, the PGA Championship starts today. No juice, no buzz, no one cares. Rory has a blister on his toe. That's the only story that I heard regarding the PGA. You're a golf guy. What's the deal?
I won't be qualifying for the U.S. Open or PGA Championship.
No, but you play and you watch it and you consume it. But
I didn't know this was PGA week. I know, maybe it's because Scheffler is so quiet and kind of boring about everything that he does, even though he's the number one golfer in the world, probably. And he's the defending champ, right?
Yeah.
Well, and we said it like
Scheffler is so boring that Pete Sampras is like, man, you got to step up your game a little bit.
You got to be a little more entertaining. Come on, man.
Pete Sampras was a dominant tennis player for a decade, and this was the most boring vanilla guy ever.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is, people the only thing toxic about Scotty is getting arrested before this event a couple of years ago.
That's right.
And people online saying like, my man's got to get his youngster out of the PJs and got to class him up. We got to get this kid fully dressed up. Scotty's like, dude, he's gonna crap in this one, so I'm gonna let him run out to the tee box and celebrate with us. We'll be fine. You're right. He's so unassuming at the top. It does make it difficult when there's not somebody to hate, right, or somebody to chase. Yeah. They're all chasing him definitely, but you got to hate a lot of things to hate him.
Throughout history, you've had that character, going back to Seve Ballesteros, and those guys.
The guys with some swashbuckle.
Yep.
So golf is the transition post Tiger is still going on. Well, there will be a day when there's no Steph Curry, no LeBron in the NBA.
That's the reality, So what happens to the sport and who do you latch on to?
Who steps up?
Who do fans latch on to?
Anthony Edwards, Wemby. Who's next? Who's the guy?
I think it's Wemby for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a close second, right? As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Kid's a freak.
There's a guy that right now is going to win, potentially win 2 titles, 2 MVPs. And again, like Scotty Scheffler, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't be less unassuming. Right. My man is just like, he just hangs out, plays ball, and then goes home and wears a wild outfit.
Is it that he's got a strange name or that he's Canadian or what?
I did hear Charles call
all of the above.
Gildress.
I
did hear Charles. I'm like, Charles, I love you, but he's the
Did you hear Charles last night talk about Max Strus being pretty?
He's a pretty man.
I gotta say, man, he's a pretty man.
Chuck, why? Why is he?
What do you mean, man? What is so attracted to him? I didn't say I'm attracted to him. I just said he's a pretty man.
What about those San Antonio women, Chuck? What happens to San Antonio?
Big old women down in San Antonio that we're going to go see in the Western Conference Finals.
What you saying? Why is he pretty, Chuck?
Oh, my goodness.
Armen, were you affected by Max Strus during his DePaul days? Did
Not
he ever,
really.
Did he deliver any daggers to Marquette?
It's funny you ask that because, like, a good player on DePaul was as rare as seeing,
I know.
like, a line in the Serengeti. Actually, I don't know if that's rare. But it was rare, right? And Max was a good player.
A lion in the Serengeti.
He was one of the, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to mess
the
that
Sultan
up.
of the Simile strikes again.
But DePaul didn't really affect us at all as a team. Like, you always beat DePaul. The only issue was like that rare time you lost to DePaul.
Like 2025, 26?
That time, unfortunately, we lost to him twice, and that just can't happen anymore. But Max was a good player, and DePaul over the years had a couple good players, but as a team, they were never.
Who was the guard they had? Like, he had like a Latin name, and he was there for 15 years.
Yeah, there was a couple guys like that. I'm blanking.
Diener? Was it Diener?
Well, that was his cousin.
It was
a version of Scotty Reynolds, who felt like he was there for 100 years.
Yeah, kind of like Brad Davison of DePaul.
They had guys that would be good every now and then, but they were so bad as a team every year, so you just weren't really affected by it.
I think the Strus one more, Dolph, would be he was a pain in the backside when he was hanging out with the Miami Heat.
Right.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Big time.
That's when he emerged.
Thorn in the side when he started. I remember a playoff game when they were going up against Atlanta where he knocks down like 5 threes early on in his career. Like, wait a second. What the hell is this Strus? Is it a Strusel kit? What are we talking about here?
It is a Max Strus.
And he grabbed himself a big old contract and well worth it because he's a good player for that team, and they don't win that game if he doesn't make a couple of those plays down the stretch defensively.
He's a classic guy that got better as his career went on, made it. Jamal Cain was like that. You forget he was on Marquette as a role player. Now he's become an NBA. But some guys just get better as they go on. Go undrafted, but find a space, find a place, and then emerge as a player. And sometimes it happens like that, and he's a good example of that. But yeah,
That's a good point because oftentimes there's so many different, we look at analytics when it comes to NBA players. If you're an upperclassman, you're almost doomed going to the NBA. Oh, why is he? He's 22. Why is he still around? Why is he still in school?
Do you think that's going to change up a little bit though?
I think it has, with Nil.
Like, because you're also you're not going to be, if you're going to be a marginal middle of the second round NBA player, there's no reason you should not take the money that you can have in college. But also like the salary cap, now this is real weedy into the NBA as to where they're going, but it's going to be difficult to have a lot of big money contract guys where you're almost going to need rookies to be able to to be productive for you, like a Malcolm Brogdon was, where all of a sudden he came in and you were counting on 15 points. It seemed like those second round long college players have been, more able to develop and help so much more early on when you're going to need those guys in the league now.
And not being given things early on in your career is also sometimes helpful for those guys going, matriculating through their career.
Well, we've just
seen, find a space and things like that.
And we've seen so many guys that you take a chance on, you take a runner on that's 18 or 19 years old. Thonmaker, the last time the Bucks were in the lottery. These guys don't pan out. Now I'm looking at the Bucks mock this year and I see the kid from Tennessee. Saw him play a couple times. He's pretty phenomenal for a freshman. That doesn't always translate to the NBA. Maybe it will, but it's probably a 2-3 years away, unlike in the NFL.
You're betting on the come there. Billy and I were talking about that off the air about how one of the Bucks best non-Giannis draft picks in recent vintage was Tobias Harris. He's quietly made $300 million in his NBA career.
And we needed JJ.
Never been a star player. He's never been a star anywhere. Never been like the main dude. And he just flies under the radar, makes money, cashes checks, and puts up numbers.
Oftentimes with guys, you don't remember them even being here. Tobias Harris contributed to those Bucks teams 1,000 years ago. But he was expendable. Yeah, he was expendable because we needed JJ Redick, who didn't want to be here for a minute.
He hated it.
He told his wife he cried when he got traded. I'm going to Milwaukee.
I cried very, very long waiting. We waited long enough to be able to get in and clean up the locker room while he'd sit on the phone with his wife.
I cried watching him shoot 29% from three here, whatever
Dolph,
crap he put up.
What's it like following a team that is like, the belle of the ball in the league, and we already have half the Bears schedule and nobody else is even, You following this and piecing it together?
Yeah, well, it's like this date every year, Drew. It seems by mid-afternoon you've got the whole damn schedule. It gets leaked, and the NFL. I'm surprised they don't keep that locked down. They're the kings of this type of stuff, right?
They squashed the tweeting of the draft picks three picks before they're announced. Like they squashed that.
They squashed that pretty quick,
but they haven't been able to squash this yet. They're still like drips and drabs. Now they strategically release stuff, and people have their spreadsheets, and it's the process of elimination. But it is interesting that both the Bears and the Packers will be playing on around Thanksgiving. Packers on Wednesday,
right,
against the Rams. Bears Lions, that's a great matchup.
Eagles
Cowboys, Bills Chiefs, and then on Friday, Black Friday in the afternoon, we get the Broncos at the Steelers.
Good one.
That's a great slate.
It is.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But it makes me think, how bad are the Sunday games going to be that week?
Get ready for Carolina and the Giants.
Ready for those, we call those Murder, She Wrote games. I'd rather watch Murder, She Wrote or Matlock than watch the NFL slate on the Sunday after Thanksgiving, because it's just going to suck.
Cardinals and Titans is going to be hot.
It's going to go hard.
It'll be kind of like some of the European games, right? That lineup. And does that go till Thanksgiving, the European games, or are they over by then?
This year with 9 international games, I believe it is pretty close to
right
that
around
time.
that
Yeah,
time.
I think it's right around the week before is when they wrap up with the final international game.
Somebody might play.
It's the Monday of Thanksgiving week.
Monday.
So they play Monday night in Mexico City. That's Vikings and 49ers. So the week. Technically the week up.
But in the end, the NFL is getting what they want. They're getting us talking about them all week. They're getting us speculating about them, thinking about them. They're in our collective consciousness, just and they want to spread across the calendar. It's Wednesdays now. It's Netflix and chill, or I'm sorry, Packers and chill, whatever it is.
No, Packers put that out last night.
Yeah.
Netflix and chill, night before Thanksgiving.
It's like
that's a good invitation if you were sending that to your crush in high school.
That's the one right there. Yeah.
So I asked Armen this morning. This is me being dumb, I guess. Will this still be a local market game? Will it be in Green Bay and Madison? Because what I saw this morning, I think it was Fox 6 in Milwaukee wrote, game will be exclusively on Netflix. Now, is that just something the NFL spewed out nationally, but you still get the game locally in your market, right, on TV?
You have to, yeah.
Somebody picks up in Milwaukee and Green Bay, though, not Madison.
Not
right?
Madison,
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Green Bay. That's right.
So we had the unique 2-market setup, but somebody locally always picks it up, but only Milwaukee and Green Bay.
There's politicians trying to change that across the state of Wisconsin.
Yes,
to get all games as a local game in the state of Wisconsin, because if you're in Madison, if you're in Eau Claire La Crosse, you should be able to get a freaking Packer game on a Sunday afternoon.
It's a smart move too, politically, right? I mean, you can.
It's a great time in election.
You can cut through all that political, partisan stuff by just saying, "I'll give you the Packers games."
You guys all watch Packers?
Yeah, come on,
Vote
that's
for
the
me.
way.
I like that. That should have been my motto when I was running for student senate.
Yeah,
I would have won.
That's right.
Oh, you lost, huh?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I also didn't put together any kind of speech or anything.
Because you could have, because with your personality, you could have won that if you wanted to, Billy.
Yeah. Billy, I learned early on, 7th grade, I ran for homeroom representative.
Ooh, I like that. Yes,
homeroom rep.
And I got beat 21-2. And I voted for myself, so that just shows you.
That's embarrassing.
I learned early on that politics were not for me.
But you got one real one somewhere.
I was going to say,
I guess so.
Dolph blew out that candle, and one of them stayed up. Let's go. We got a girl.
I got one real one out there that's going to stick with me. You got one ride or die.
I think I got I took a resounding L, if I remember correctly as well. But it was, I just walked in. I did the Nixon celebratory one. Apparently that didn't work very well. Apparently nobody thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the too
funny.
Yeah.
Me as a 6th grader, that one just went up right over everybody else's head, I guess.
I want 2 hours for lunch and 2 recesses, Billy said. That's his platform.
I said we're ending school early every single day. The
that
teachers are like,
and,
you can't do that,
and
bud.
Smoking in the boys' room. That's all we asked for.
There you go. All right, so the NFL
Smoking
schedule, this is great. They're using AI to help them. 272 games with 576 game windows over 18 weeks, played in 8 countries with 1 quadrillion. That is 1 with 15 zeros, scheduling possibilities. There are more than 26,000 factors to take into consideration, such as stadium availability, travel requirements, primetime games, competitive fairness, division rivalries. So they're using some AI to help them winnow this down and figure this out. Like we always wonder, they're looking at those matchups. The fact that they have the Seahawks Patriots in week 1, that's not doesn't take a. I don't need AI to tell me that's a pretty good matchup.
I can't wait to see some of the miles traveled by some of these teams. Last year, it was ridiculous for teams like the Seahawks and Rams. And then you looked at the Bills. They only had to go into the Central Time Zone. That was it.
Yeah, never went that far west.
They were by far the least traveled team in the NFL.
There's a possibility that Shannon Quinn Bowl could be the first game of the year. There's a real possibility it could be Buffalo, Green Bay, week 1. That would be a fun start.
That would be a fun start.
There's a lot of fun ways that you could kick off this season. I just hope, and it would lend itself with 9 home games and already week 2 looking like it's at the Jets. We're going to be starting out the NFL season at Lambeau Field for the 2nd consecutive year. You want to talk about a groundhog seeing a shadow? That had not been a regular occurrence for a long time.
True. The miles traveled chart did come out. The Niners and the Rams lead the NFL in projected season miles traveled this year.
Well, the Niners are doing 2 internationals.
Sure,
right?
that's part of it. And they're also in California, obviously, right? So then it goes Texans, Cowboys, and then so on. The Packers, one of the least as usual, only 12,000 air miles travel, which is a third of the Niners.
Good, because we don't have a big airport.
I know, right? Well, listen, Green Bay even, but they're flying charter. It's all good.
How far is Australia? That's got to be.
I think they said 16 hours.
Yeah, it's usually something like that.
And then Sao Paulo, as the Packers found out, you would think it's South America right below North America. That's like going way past Europe.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt about
trip.
it.
And the Panthers only have to travel 8,700 air miles this year. They're the least in the league.
No one wants to see the Panthers.
That's what it is. Right?
That's pretty much true.
Right. I mean, is that fair? Congratulations, Chicago. That's the opening week.
You always told me, Drew, you would have advertised that to players in a free agency. Like your flights are shorter. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doug Melvin used to tell players that. And it is an advantage. I think about the Padres coming here this week. The Padres, they have their divisional, quick trip. They can drive to LA. Right. Or they can quick trip to San Francisco or Arizona or something. But man, anytime they play this side of Mississippi, it's a long ass flight for them. Man, they spend a lot more time in the air.
100%.
Beats you up a lot more than you do in Milwaukee. It's
a couple thousand minimum. Of course, as you know, Drew, though, that things are a lot nicer on those flights now than what they used to be, right?
Oh, sure.
Charter life does not suck, but I'm just saying.
I remember this is 30 years ago when I lived on the West Coast and I was traveling through Denver, the airport in Denver. And I remember seeing an NBA team trudging through, sitting at a gate to get on a commercial flight at that time.
They flew commercial back in the day.
That's
coach.
nuts.
That ended in the late
and
80s.
played 82 games. Imagine that.
Played all the games.
Right.
Back when you could
Exactly.
smoke on flights and back when NBA players had to wash their own uniforms.
Back when Marcus Johnson would always say their post-game workout was a pack of smokes and a 6-pack of beer.
Are those little bolted down ashtrays still in your seat armrest now? They used to be up until not that long ago.
Yeah, I think they took those out.
I don't know what planes
where you
you're
hide
still
your
flying.
gum.
We live in a proper society.
What planes you're still flying?
So
Those things are out of
who
commission.
gets more prime time? Packers usually max out at the 6 prime time, right?
I think the Bears and Packers will be
each
matching
get
right near
out.
about 6.
And I think they'll play each other twice in a prime time window.
Both games?
Prime
time?
I gotta believe. Now, here's the other thing to me is because for me, prime time, I expanded to include that Sunday 3 o'clock.
The 3 o'clock window, right?
The
Then
3:25
America's
window
game of
on
the week.
Sunday.
Game of the week. Yeah.
That is like a prime window to me.
Agreed.
You know, that's almost. I'd almost rather. I think that's almost bigger than Monday night in some cases.
I miss the days when they would open and close the season. Remember they did that a few times.
That's my favorite. I've said that for years. Like it should be like Cincinnati in the when they were the first game in baseball in the National League. First pitch of the season was in Cincinnati every year. It should be noon. Packers, Bears just alternate the site every year.
It's all changing though, and I complained that when they first did Wednesday football, and you know this, Billy, and I'm. Realistically, I complain still, but I know it's not going to change.
You started to
The NFL
complain
wants
yesterday,
this.
and then I actually had it typed back in a response of, you cannot be complaining about this one. And then
I saw
he
those
caught
dots.
himself right away.
I saw those dots popping.
And
from Bill Schmidt on the group text. Yeah,
Packers.
I've complained about it, but if I'm being 100% honest, I can't lie. I was happy to see that.
Packers will always move the needle. Last year, Packers Lions on Thanksgiving Day was the most watched NFL game, regular season game in history for 2 hours. And then the Chiefs and Cowboys.
That's crazy.
And then they beat that.
Yeah.
So
Bears back in Detroit on Thanksgiving for the 3rd time in 5 years. I want to say it's
the
either
Packers
or
were there
Bears, it
twice.
seems.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a coach that gets fired after this one?
Come on now.
This will be Ben Johnson's first Thanksgiving game in Detroit after spending 4 or 5 years.
He's also going to try to beat that Lions team for the first time.
That's right. They got smoked 50-something to 20-something last year. And then lost. I was at the game in Chicago. That was an ugly game.
What? That was week 18, right?
Yeah, it was the last game of the season. Lions had nothing to play for, but you could tell they came out of the tunnel and they had a lot of smoke.
They wanted one guy to play
That's
for.
right.
They wanted
That's
to play
it.
against one guy,
That's
and
right.
that is why we love it.
That's
It's going to be
pretty
tough when
wild.
the Bears are 7-10 this year. It's going to be tough.
Oh my,
Hey,
Armen.
NFL's toughest schedule, buddy.
That's right.
I'm
Welcome to the big time.
Way to manifest that, brother.
I know it was a hard season for you last season. I understand.
Very difficult.
Oh my goodness.
Very
What
difficult.
a classic. Dolph, thanks for popping
All right,
in.
boys.
Appreciate you. Halftime is over. We're going to have an Uncrustable and orange slice, and we'll get back after it, make our adjustments. And Hunter Baumgardt joins us in less than an hour from right now to talk Brewers Padres. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Time for Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, your HVAC specialists. Billy, what do you got for Who's Hot and Who's Not?
Well, I got a couple of Who's Hot. Who's Not was the young man that Armen Sarian just talked about. Who was not the worst Cy Young Award winner of all time?
Bedrosian.
Dad's going to be mad because he's Armenian. And we were taught from a young age, as you know, you get cheer for these guys. And he was a great pitcher for what he was, but Steve Bedrosian, if you remember, won the 87 Cy Young, Drew.
We all remember, yeah.
Phillies and Braves, good relief pitcher, but Bedrock was his nickname. And his son Cam played for the Angels. But I think if you look in the Cy Young winners,
don't point
in
at me for
history,
confirmation on that. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah.
If you look at the Cy Young winners in history, he's probably the worst. He's probably amongst the worst.
He had 40 saves that year. It was the closest Cy Young vote in history. He beat Rick Sutcliffe by 2 points. He had 57 total points. Sutcliffe had 55. Rick Rushell had 54. Bedrosian had a 2.83 ERA as a closer, 40 saves.
It's okay, but we wouldn't give the Cy Young. We wouldn't give those guys
that
Cy
year
Young anymore.
Nolan Ryan had a 2.76 ERA, struck out 270 batters, and tied for fifth because he was 8-16.
So your man
wins mattered.
Your man beats a Cubs pitcher, and you're still going to say that he was the worst. I would have. I don't know. That year would have just been in living infamy forever.
It does for a young boy like me, because it was like Steve Bedrosian has an Armenian name, and he won the Cy Young, and it was a big deal. My dad had all his cards, but he had the 8th best WAR of all those pitchers that got votes that year. Yeah. Now that's going to happen with relief pitchers. So you can't totally use WAR because it's about innings pitched. It's cumulative. The value of a reliever can be debated, but we loved those relievers in the 80s, right? And it started with,
He had the biggest win share.
There you go.
So,
listen, it started with Raleigh winning the
Raleigh
MVP,
was the first.
All that stuff in 81. So it was just you go back and look like, come on. Like, really, Cy Young?
Well, in all this,
Raleigh only had 28 saves that year, but he pitched 78 innings because that was when he would go multiple innings.
Okay.
And his ERA was 1.04.
He pitched like 3 innings
in 78 innings, and that was a strike shortened season.
Oh my God!
So he was the MVP and the Cy Young that year in a strike shortened season. So anyway, who's hot, who's not? Billy.
Sorry, Steve Bedrosian, not hot. Sorry, won the Cy Young, not good enough in my man Armen Sarian's playbook. It was just the absolute best. Never change. I love this guy, man.
Mad at me.
Who's not hot? Abner Uribe, after last night, puking up the game, giving up the 3-run shot to Gavin Sheets. Hangs one slider, top of the zone. Sheets didn't miss it. Clobbers hit into the bullpen. Brewers lose 3-1. A couple of hots though. How about Dalton Varsho? Walk-off grand slam.
Let's go. Hometown UWM Panther.
And also, who's not hot? And this one feels very, very good to say. The Chicago Cubs. Losers of 4 consecutive games they lose last night to the Atlanta Braves, who don't look now, kids, they won the race to 30, Drew. The race to the first team to 30 wins. They're 30-13, 14-6 at Truist Park. They beat the Cubbies 4-1 last night.
How about that?
Also, honorable mention for Cade Cunningham in a losing effort last night. He pours in 31. Nobody else on the Detroit Pistons could get to 20. So tough night for Detroit. They're down 3-2.
Giddy up. All right. That's who's hot, who's not. Employee owned for 40 years. Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. Check them out. DonovanJorgensen.com is the website. All right. We're sprinting ahead. Headed for the final hour. Hunter Baumgardt joins us just after 7:30.
Hunter.
To talk about the Brewers as they get ready for the series finale today at American Family Field. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. A brilliant outing by Jacob Misiorowski wasted as the Brewers bullpen fails late. The final score 3-1. Milwaukee loses to San Diego. The Miz, 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball, striking out 10 with no walks. Abner Uribe, however, gave up all 3 of San Diego's runs in the ninth. Uribe hanging a slider to Gavin Sheets, who didn't miss, hitting a 3-run bomb for the win.
You have to swallow it. That's part of it. You're going to have 3 or 4 of these every year. We got some great performances tonight. We faced a really good pitcher who we got out of there and left some guys on base, but still, Misiorowski was really, really good, especially in the middle of the game. And then Ashby was really, really good. And Abner walked a guy and made a bad pitch.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy. The series wraps up this afternoon at 12:40. Kyle Harrison pitches against Griffin Canning. And the full NFL schedule is out tonight. The NFL announced a Thanksgiving Eve night at L.A. for the Packers. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 dead. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right, that's all the board y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Dominating a Thursday in the Good Land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, broadcasting live at 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. And, of course, streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube for everybody enjoying pancakes this morning.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Apparently you can't eat nice fried cakes with syrup for breakfast anymore, and I could shout it out.
No, I like
Armen just
pancakes.
put a tweet into the Twitterverse.
I did, which I usually
The
do. Check us
X-verse.
out on X. Love it. YouTube, X, and
Yeah,
Facebook.
and you said, hour 3 for you pancake eaters. Like, are you taking a dig at our audience? Like, is this a veiled? Like,
All you pancake eaters? Is that like booger eaters or what?
I have to say, I put a tweet out. I try and put a caption with the video link, and I absolutely didn't think too much about it. And now, in retrospect, I can see how it can sound condescending,
like a lion in the Serengeti. A pancake eater in,
pancake eating lion.
What would have sounded better? You T-bone steak eaters?
pancake eater in Potosi. I don't know. I mean,
I don't either.
However you say it, it sounds like all you guys, all you people. Whenever you drop a you people, rarely does it come out with a nice connotation.
I figure people are getting up in the morning and they're getting ready for breakfast at 7:00. They're getting ready to go to work, and maybe they're cooking up some breakfast. The whistles go woo, and that's a reference that some people get. And I don't know. I just feel like they're probably out there eating pancakes. It's a delicious, nutritious.
Not very nutritious.
Okay, well, it's a filling.
Yeah, not very nutritious. It's delicious.
It's a delicious, filling, economical breakfast that most people can eat, and that enjoy. Most people enjoy eating. That maybe there's a lot of pancake eaters in our listener group because we got the really salt of the earth blue collar workers out there.
pancakes are delicious.
Yeah, I love pancakes are delicious. I also
in that game,
but blue collar folks, Drew, Armen, one might be already at work, probably listening to us at work already. Also, probably tough to sit down with a plate of flapjacks in front of you if you're going to go and work. That's the tough thing about pancakes.
Great point.
When I'm going to divulge in pancakes, which generally will be ordered when I go to a breakfast spot, Drew.
Oh yeah.
You gotta at least have some possibility for a nap in your future, right?
They're heavy. They're heavy.
They're going to be heavy. Jim Gaffigan had a great rib about cake. He's like, how did that slide through? No, you can't have cake for breakfast. You're gonna have fried cake with syrup for breakfast. Shove that down your throat and try not to nap. I mean, like that is a tough scene.
And to your point, it's not really a quick one. You got to make the batter, you got to mix it, and then you got to fry them up. Because if you think about it, you can do frozen waffles easily.
They got frozen pancakes.
Eggos, do they have frozen pancakes?
Yeah, they do.
100%, yeah, 100%.
But do those hit like Eggos? I can't imagine because they're already crispy. Like if I put frozen
they're
pancakes,
microwavable.
Yeah, microwavable pancakes. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
man. Listen, John Denver said it, man. I got me a fine wife. I got me old fiddle. Got sun's coming up. I got cakes on the griddle. All right. So the sun's up.
Thank God I'm a country boy.
Thank
Come
God
on,
I'm a country boy.
That's what I think of when I think of Armen Sarian.
I'm listening to the Huddle and a Thursday morning with my cakes on the griddle. There you have it. I did not think about it much. I'll be 100% honest. I really didn't. But I'm
Great
glad
response is somebody for the Mighty Ducks with the Mighty Ducks meme. Cake eater.
Yeah, cake eater. That's right. That was Banks. Although Banks, I think Banks proved his mettle. Banks, he proved he was a real one in 2 and
well,
3.
then that means you need to prove that you're a real one and dial in here for the next hour. I believe in you.
Oh, I'm locked in.
I'm
I'm thinking about pancakes, but I'm locked in.
We've covered a lot of ground already this morning. If you're just waking up, welcome. We've been here since 5.
Just waking
saying.
up eating pancakes.
If you're just waking up and firing up your pancakes, we've talked about the Brewers' crushing loss last night at Armen, but the silver lining was Miz was incredible for 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, no walks, just dominant, shoving. And then the Brewers lose. He comes out for the 8th, cramps up his quad, and nothing to worry about. He said he's going to make his next turn, which is slated to be Monday at Wrigley Field.
Monday, Wrigley Field. That's a big one, Drew. 2.5
Big
games
one,
back of
big
those
one.
boys.
Big game for the Brewers today, though, because like there's something 5-1 just sounds so much better than 4-2 on the homestand.
Well, and also, I mean, it's the race to win series, right? It's the race to try to stack as many of those as you can. And as tough as it is to lose a game, last night you also possibly could lose the series. You had full control, and you would have had a chance to sweep a homestand. And, I mean, if we're talking about pancakes, then we would have been halfway to burgers, which is also another important thing.
That's the one.
But for Miz in particular, you feel like not only are you going to win every single time he has the ball, it now is trending to the point where I'm feeling bad for the opponent when he takes the baseball. That's a different level of confidence.
Is it too basic for us to name Miz our Current Electric Superhero of the Day? Brought to us by callcurrent.com. Current Electric, the best, the superheroes. You see those vans all over the town as they're helping people out.
I think it's the easiest one, and I think it's the best one to be able to call him a superhero of the day because he's also 6'7", gangly looking, but a hero's welcome is the one that he gets, and a hero's send off every single time he walks on and off the mound. Now, I don't know, Drew. Is it as simple with the cramping issue as like give him a banana and give him some IV? Like, can we give him an IV so we don't have the cramping issue?
Thing. It's not like they're not aware of it, and like they have the best like nutritionists, they have the best athletic training staff. Sometimes it's just a body chemistry thing. I don't know what is he not doing that he's cramping up. Like some guys just you're running a high. It's a what do you call it? It's a high performance engine.
Oh, for sure. This is a high performance vehicle right there.
I mean, we've never seen a guy throw his 93rd pitch at 103. It just doesn't happen.
I think if you have a guy with that type of ability, to your point, the muscles, all those things, if you can do superhuman things, you're going to have.
You're running it up against the limits of human physiology and performance.
The guy reminded me of that. There was nothing they could do about it. He would get him every game just because his muscles were so intense and tight. Was Dominic James. When he was a freshman, I remember it was happening a lot. Point guard for Marquette.
Like zero body
He was
fat.
just an incredible ball of athleticism that people hadn't seen. That was his best feat. He could jump everywhere. He was a small guy, but he was incredible. He would get cramps every game at the end of the game. There's nothing they could do. And at first, people were nervous because he'd be writhing in pain, thinking he got ACL injuries. Now it's like, oh, Dominic's cramping again. But there's really not much that you can hydrate him all game. You can't ID him.
Well, could you? Like, I mean,
during the game, maybe.
Could at halftime.
Right at halftime, like plug it in like an EV charger.
Yeah.
Right now, Current Electric, the company to call if you're looking for an EV charger.
Yeah.
Great work that Current Electric is doing, and the superheroes right now will handle everything from the initial site assessments to the final installation for the month of May, offering a free EV charger. That's right, free EV charger when you simply purchase installation. So if you've thought about getting an EV charger, now's the time. Call current.com.
Planning that one.
I was sitting there waiting for it.
That was awesome.
Water in that bamboo.
It's not my mission to tell people how to fan, but being at the game last night, like Miz's last inning, you could kind of tell. And Murph said it looked like he was trying to empty the tank. He's around 90 pitches, strikes out Castellanos.
Wanted to get to that 10 Ks.
Gets that surge, gets the 10th K. He's at 93 pitches. The 93rd pitch was 103. No one's ever done that before. It was epic. But Billy, that's the first time there was juice. Like, shouldn't there be juice in the building every time Miz gets to 2 strikes on a guy? Shouldn't there be a lift? And the crowd just sitting there like, it's Wednesday night. We're just chilling at the game.
This is where, Drew, I don't know how we do it, but I want us to adopt the Venezuelan Ponche.
Yeah,
when they're all yelling like in the WBC every single time you get 2 strikes, we should be yelling punchy every single time he gets to 2 strikes because that will then
when
incentivize
he gets to strike
maybe we get to 12
one,
and
it should
13.
be a build. It should be build every time through the at bat. I don't care if it's the first inning or the 7th. It should be like Miz especially. You're going to be watching that K board out in right field to track his strikeouts. It's a freakish thing. And like, not that people aren't enjoying it, but I think be more juice.
Part of it is maybe the Aaron Rodgers and Giannis effect, where those guys in the recent vintage made the remarkable seem so unremarkable. And we were so used to seeing the greatness. Maybe there's a little bit of that too with Miz. It's like he's so good. We're just used to seeing him blow guys away, and it becomes ordinary, which it shouldn't because it's incredible.
It shouldn't.
No.
But to your point, Billy, we got to come up with some sort of, but it's got to be organic, like kind of rallying cry or 2-strike thing that becomes a tradition for Miz. Like, I don't know, finish him, it's a kill or something like that.
I don't know. The punchy one is too good.
That's
When I'm seeing all the guys in the dugout throwing it as well with Venezuela, you can't tell me that didn't get in the USA players.
It affects the batter.
Definitely
Absolutely.
affect. There is the ordinary, maybe not for just Miz. The triple digits is a different one, right? Like the first guy I fully remember pumping 100 was Aroldis Chapman, right?
Yes.
When I was young, like when he came through in every inning, he was throwing 3 or 4. That's amazing. Now every game, at least somebody is doing it.
It is sick.
But for the longevity, Drew, to your point, that's different. That's something you haven't seen. I think there's a lot more though, oohs and ahs. Like there's a lot of but the ball comes in so fast. It's hard to even differentiate when it's a slider or a fastball from like the layman eye, that you almost need that K-board in right field to just be showing the center field camera so we can actually see how much the ball is moving, and then you get even more electricity. Because that's part of the beauty of watching him pitch, is just seeing what the ball does.
It is. And, he made Tatis look so bad, and Tatis is a really good hitter, and he made him look so bad because you go up there and like, you have to be geared for the fastball because it's coming 102, 103. To have a chance, you almost got to cheat and start your swing early. And if it's a slider, you got no chance. Like,
you're going to get embarrassed.
It's very, you don't go up there looking slider against Jacob Misiorowski because you can't. And if his slider's going for strikes like it was throughout the game last night, if he's locating it, he is devastating, and he's only going to get better. So again, it was just one thing I observed. Like they started to appreciate towards the end because it was the 7th and it's 1-0 game. But if he goes to 2 strikes on the first batter of the game, get out of your seat. Like, have some fun. It's not Lambeau where people are going to yell at you for standing.
No, we love round numbers, right? And that's where also I think the back end of it, he's chasing the 10th strikeout. There's he's going to get the double digits. That'll inherently get a little bit more excitement in the building. But the way he plays, I think the youthful exuberance and that excitement would lend itself to a little bit more.
And just
more
like
pops.
some more juice in the building would be nice. All right, Billy, we were remiss.
Chants in baseball as well, Drew. That's interesting. Like we need more chanting in baseball. I'm not saying we need to go full U12 softball here and be singing throughout the game, but it would be nice other than hotty, 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 ho, heedy, if we could get some chanting going on during the game.
That'd be nice.
So good. That's true.
It does get people excited.
Billy, I've been remiss. Here we are entering our 3rd hour of broadcasting today. I haven't wished you a happy anniversary.
Oh, is that today?
Because on this date in 2018, sports gambling was legalized. The Supreme Court overturned the ban on sports gambling on this date in 2018.
Billy was nervous as hell. He's like, I forgot my anniversary.
Oh my God.
Hey, welcome to my
this month, dude. I knew I was damn.
Billy's like, please, no, please.
Gave the boy a grabber right there.
No, but that is 2000. When was it? That's
18.
2018.
Wow. Man,
So
time flies.
8 years ago today.
Which is fun, Drew, and I'm glad you bring that up because that would have been around the same time when I first started getting to do this job at a different radio institution.
Yeah, down the dial.
At that
Across
time,
the street,
the person that I was doing the radio show with said, I don't know why you're talking about this gambling stuff. Like it's not like what no one cares. No one cares about the point spread. No one cares. No one thinks about the over under. No one cares about what these guys' player props are. And now less than a decade later, they're building out parlays with Ernie, Charles, and Shaq before the game on Inside the NBA, and every pregame show's doing it.
Unbelievable.
It became a quick part of the sports lexicon like that.
No doubt. It always was in the seamy underworld.
Yeah, in the stuff that you couldn't talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, Jimmy the Greek did, and Brent Musburger would slyly throw it in, the king.
I remember
score
Al
16
Michaels too.
as well. It's important to note.
Al
It's
Michaels.
16.
Yeah.
I had
some of our viewers may be feeling under the weather at the end of this game.
Somebody's sitting here saying, "Oh yes," and the others are saying, "You've got to be kidding me." Brent told a story. I can't remember if it was with DP as he went into the Hall of Fame last year. which is long overdue. He invented the pregame show, basically, right? Like he was the first guy on the pregame show. And he told a story about when he pitched Jimmy to be a part of the NFL Today, right? And he had said, like, Pete Rozelle at the time was like, I love that idea. It's great. It'll be awesome. And then, like, the day before the game, about a week after they had agreed to it, and he said, just don't say that spread or, over-unders and different things like that. Just don't use the words, but definitely talk about it. It's like, wait a second.
Wait, what?
Hold on. So you want us to do a segment where we talk about betting on the game, but we can't say what the line is, who's favored, or what it actually means. So that was where all of the creativity to be able to slyly mention it throughout. And then like, oh, wait. Still remember when I first got cued in on sports wagering when I was 6 years old. My dad was waking up early with me because I couldn't pour the Cheerios into the bowl and the milk at the same time. I could get the cereal, Drew, as you always say. I can get the milk. I couldn't get it in at the same time. It was never going to work that way. So Dad had to wake up for the mess. But I remember watching Chris Berman go through all of his games. Like, Dad, why does that one have a -2? Why is that team's number green when they lost? That doesn't make any sense. He goes, I'll teach you when you're older, buddy. I'll teach you when you're older. And then that fateful day at Lambeau Field when the Bears and Packers met up and we're in the Kmart lot and hearing a bantering about of a -3. Packers are laying three. They beat the Bears 36-0 that day. And that was the first day that I ever got in with my pops. Can I split that with you? He goes, buddy, you don't have any money. But yes. And that was when the first W came through. And then in 2018, we were all able to, discuss it. And soon enough, we'll be betting from our seats.
It's
right
coming.
Here in Milwaukee.
It's coming.
Right here in Milwaukee. Soon enough, we'll finally be able to, because that Potawatomi Sportsbook app is getting closer and closer by the day. Our boy Justin Arnett is working it out.
They've been working for a while on that one. So it's getting closer for sure.
Getting closer.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I didn't mean to freak you out about your anniversary, but you guys are always fun place. And like I've said before, who am I, the paragon of, my wife and I have both forgotten our anniversary numerous times.
Well, see, that's where it's fine.
Where your mother-in-law calls at
That's
8 o'clock.
yeah.
Hey, you guys, happy anniversary. Oh, yeah. Hey, happy anniversary, dear.
Glad it was here.
Oops.
I had my brother-in-law and my sister are going to Vegas because we got married in Vegas a couple of years ago. And they dropped it on us and said, yeah, we're going to Las Vegas for your anniversary. What?
Yeah.
What? They're like, well, yeah, I mean, you set up the Vegas weekend, so now we figure we might as well just go to Vegas every single year. So we'll celebrate it for you.
It's become a tradition. Now we're celebrating your anniversary.
Now we're celebrating
Without
your wedding,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah, it is nice.
Set
Nice.
the appointment listening and appointment viewing.
Fantastic.
There are a lot of people that are very excited, hoping that we're going to get more schedule leaks out here. Drew, I feel like it would be malpractice and downright rude if we tried to leak out more things before our intrepid schedule maker Hunter Baumgardt came through here.
That's true.
Not because he makes the schedule for us.
He loves it though.
He loves NFL schedules and when we're going to figure out when the wild card games are going to be, the week 18 games. I imagine this is like his Super Bowl.
And if you cross him and you get one wrong, he'll never forgive you. And Hunter's not a guy that's not a forgiving kind of guy. But there's some things he won't tolerate, and that's one of them. He'll never stop talking about, I'm forgetting.
Jordan Schultz last
Schultz.
year. Our Hunter was sitting right there, and I think he proclaimed Jordan Schultz. Now dead.
Is dead to me.
Dead to me.
That was his quote, which is something you don't hear Hunter saying about anybody. Okay?
Love that. Hunter's going to join us next. We'll talk Brewers as they get ready for the series finale against the Padres this afternoon. American Family Field, 12:40 first pitch. I don't know, will there be a lot of school kids there today? It's coming towards the end of the school year.
I was going to say this would have to
Buses.
be a
field trip action.
Is this a senior skip day too?
I don't know.
Right, middle of May. This would have been a perfect time for our skip day. I think ours was later on in May. That was a fun day.
We're going to talk to Hunter Baumgardt about the Brewers.
That's bad on the grill.
Next, you're listening to the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I want to make sure that everybody understands the final score. That's what's important here. They took the safety, and it is 16-12. That is the final score of the game now. Green Bay wins it as Hintrick runs out the clock.
It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you from headquarters. We're entering the home stretch of our program today, which begins at 5 and ends at 8. And on Mondays and Thursdays, it includes an appearance by our good friend Hunter Baumgardt, fresh as a daisy after a night at the ballpark and getting ready for a matinee today. Hunter, welcome back to the Huddle.
Yes, thanks for having me. And fresh as a daisy indeed. Oh, that was a gut-wrenching one last night.
A tough loss.
Yeah, cookies.
We were looking at the positives, though. The silver lining was Miz being just sublime. 7 innings. Hunter, we've never seen anything like that with a guy. His 93rd pitch was 103.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those where you look up and you say, he really just hit 103. We're looking at each other in the press box there, just absolutely dialed it up. And you thought, oh, no, he's okay. That was the last pitch of the night. And then he comes back out for the 8th. Of course, he has the cramps and doesn't pitch in the 8th inning. But he ties his career high going 7 innings. He's got the most games with 10 plus strikeouts in the majors right now at 4. I mean, he's got the most strikeouts in the majors right now. We talked about, what his ceiling could be the other day earlier this week. And it just, I don't think you can put one on him right now because it is just so dominant what he's doing. And against really good lineups, the Yankees and Padres have some of the best hitters in ball when you look top to bottom at these lineups, and he is just mowing them down.
What do you hear from different guys in the clubhouse, right? Because when they see him on a daily basis, we almost, Armen joked about it, like you can almost get just used to the greatness and the ability. But when the guys that see it every single day and see the bullpens and they still are astounded by it, it seems like those words ring even more important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the starters have talked about it. The bullpen guys have talked about it. Kind of how special he is. I know Yelly talked about it last year and saying that, it's amazing to come out of the gate like that. And, hopefully he can sustain it. Well, he definitely has sustained it. He's almost a year into his major league career now. June 12th was his debut last year. And since then, he has the best strikeout per 9 inning rate of anybody in baseball since that June 12th date of last year. I talked to Andrew Vaughn yesterday, and I'm like, do you find yourself like peeking over at the velocity or the miles an hour that's going up on the scoreboard? And he's like, I can hear it when it hits the glove. He's like, I can tell right when it hits the glove what it sounds like and that sort of thing. So it's those guys know and they love playing behind him because they know they obviously are going to have a good chance to win. And obviously they're not going to have to do a lot of work with the amount of strikeouts that guy gets. So that's the thing. It's just a dominant performance, and the guys around him I think there are some guys that are in awe. They've seen a lot in baseball. Those guys have played a lot of baseball, but this is a different level of dominance.
I also love that he triggers people because of just like who he is. Bob Nightingale put out a tweet, guys, last night. He's like, don't think anyone's going to be complaining this time when the Brewers ace finds his way onto the All-Star team. And then the first 2 comments are from Cubs accounts. One, gotta hand it to the nerd. He's literal fire lately. Annoying, but cool, but also annoying. The next one, it'd be really cool if he wasn't such a dork. Like, I do love the fact that he's a little bit nerdy, a little funny, a little quirky, but he's got a weird boyish charm that has to be so deflating when you're in the batter's box and he's pumping 103 at you. He's like, it's fun. It's fun. Like, he's got that little giggle that I understand why opponents would be like, I hate this dude. I can't stand how good he is and how annoying he can be.
Totally. It's like it's some of those, I don't think it's to this extreme, but obviously some of those players in sports that you love when they're on your team and you don't love when you're facing them. I think obviously that's a part of this talent wise, and obviously batters don't enjoy facing Miz. You look at Jackson Merrill's reaction last night after his first at bat, like, I don't know what in the world I just faced, but I'm going to have to do it 3 more times or 2 to 3 more times tonight. Fernando Tatis Jr., who goes 2 for 2 in his first 2 at bats against him. And then his 3rd at bat, he strikes out on 3 pitches. Like, it seemed, the great thing about Miz last night was he seemed to get better as it went on. Retired his last 14 he faced, those 1, 2, 3 innings. He went 8 pitches, 7 pitches in the middle of those innings. And it just was so efficient late in the game. And that's what we saw against the Yankees. I mean, dialing up those high speed pitches late in the game. And that is, it's one thing to do it early in the game. Jeff Passan tweeted it out last night. He's like, We've never seen someone just sustain this throughout 6-7 innings.
That's the thing.
And that's exactly what he did last night when your last pitch is 103 at the 93rd pitch in the 7th inning.
The sustaining of it. It's not just like reaching back a few times. It's the sustainment that's not a word, but the sustaining of that performance is the most incredible thing. And, in the back of your mind, you're always worried about, okay, the wear and tear and those things and injury. I don't want to be an Eeyore. We talked about this earlier to just expect that it's going to happen. However, it's got to make you think like the most important for them as a staff, as a unit, as an organization is to find the right way to maintain him and maintain his health when he's doing stuff that not many humans have done.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, and I think it's in the back of minds of so many Brewers fans. It's like I don't, we haven't seen this before, so how is his arm going to hold up? But I don't know. I mean, he's kind of a freak in nature anyway, so maybe that lends itself to that being beneficial as he moves forward in his career. I do think the cramp thing, they do need to at least take a look, and they will. And Pat Murphy alluded to, they've got the people in house that can figure that out. Not so much that the cramp is an issue, but if he, starts to feel that in it's 2 out of 3 starts now, and if that starts to become something, not just that he has to exit the game, but also how does he maybe adjust how he's pitching then due to the cramps, and does that cause some sort of other harm that you don't want? So I feel like that is something that, and it's not like a severe injury or something that is even going to make him miss a start, but more so something that they should keep an eye on just to make sure it doesn't affect something else within his body.
We are chatting Brewers with Hunter Baumgardt, our go-to man. He will be at the ballpark today for the 12:40 first pitch, and then hosting Milwaukee's baseball tonight at 6:00. Hunter, one of the things that struck me last night, we had a 3-hit performance by Rengifo, who is no longer the mayor of Slump City. I think Ortiz maybe, or Mitchell. And I'm getting a vibe. People are mad at Garrett Mitchell. I know you've been one of his bigger fans, but Frelick isn't exactly setting the world on fire either. Couple of knocks for him yesterday. What's it going to look like when he gets hot? Because he has not yet, nothing close these first 2 months.
Yeah, he's not looking like he was last year so far. I think the offense just continues to get deeper if he gets hot. Same with Garrett Mitchell. I mean, Mitchell started the year really well, but yeah, over the last month or so, it just has not been good. What worries me about Mitchell is the strikeouts, and that is just, that is just killing him right now. And so obviously that is something that everybody's watching and that he's trying to rectify. The Sal Frelick thing is, like, I believe that he can come out of this. I think we've seen the player that he is, and he's not going to hit 1 million home runs, and it's just going to be find a way to get on base. And I feel like he's starting to do that a little more here in these last few days. And I think honestly, getting the guys like a Churio, a Vaughn, a Yelich back is going to help all of these guys because of the pitches they're going to see. So maybe that helps going forward. But yeah, I think Frelick and Mitchell are, Ortiz is what Ortiz is at this point. Like I think we know what we're getting, but with the guys like Mitchell, a guy like Frelick, you know what's in there, the talent that's in there. You've obviously seen it with Frelick. You're wanting to see it consistently with Mitchell throughout a season. I like that they're continuing to get Mitchell every day at bats. I mean, that's what I was calling for in the beginning. For better or for worse, you should see what you have during a season with Garrett Mitchell and see what he can put together in 162. Absolutely. And then if you need to judge off of that, okay. But I do like that he's continuing to get at bats because I don't think they have a better option at this point. Blake Perkins has struggled at the plate. Obviously, he's good defensively. I thought it was notable that they put in Blake Perkins in the 9th inning yesterday defensively instead of Garrett Mitchell.
I was managing along, and I'm like, I wonder if they'll hook Churio, because if the game goes extras, you want Churio in there. But if they took Churio out for defense, their best outfield is Frelick, Mitchell, and Perkins in some form or fashion. And I'm wondering, is that because like he had the misplay the night before? Like I was wondering what the deal was with that.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, you could kind of see that. You could kind of see, he did make a throw. I think it was a one hop on that, trying to double off at first base, but it was a hard throw. It was a good throw. It was on the money. It just barely missed. That was the Tatis, I believe, Tatis slide where he slides into Vaughn and they collide over there at first base. But yeah, I was usually we'd see sometimes a defensive replacement for Churio there. I wonder in a 1-0 game, since it was so close, they're like, yeah, we want Churio still in that lineup. And obviously he's been hitting better than Garrett Mitchell has. But I think the misplay in center field and some of the it doesn't fully feel like, just seeing Garrett Mitchell, watching what he does, it doesn't fully feel like he is necessarily back to that fully aggressive center fielder. Like, you still are seeing maybe that play where he's worrying, that misplay in center field almost looked like he was worrying a little bit about the wall. And I haven't talked to him about this. Maybe I will, either today or in the coming homes, just to see how he's feeling about that, because it's one thing to obviously come back from an injury. We heard about how he was going to slide differently and dive differently and things like that. I just wonder how much he's thinking out there more than just going out and playing. And I wonder if that's having an impact on his center field.
Watching Lockridge go into a wall maybe puts a little
cautionary tale after I watched my.
And I don't care who you
lose
are.
A leg.
If you've been as hurt as much as Mitchell is, and you're doing everything you can to avoid it, and you're gotta be fearful a little bit in the back of your mind, like, I just got to protect myself and try and maintain health for a while.
Yeah.
It's not the right way to go. I know it's not the right way to play, but I can't blame his instinct for that. Also, Murph is the type of guy that would be the manager to sit him down a little bit if he makes a mistake, to kind of not punish him, but he did that with Durbin last year, if you remember, for a couple games. And Frelick, it's like, you got to stay focused. So that might be something he's doing a little bit to try and motivate a little bit.
It'll be interesting. Hunter, as much as we're raving about Miz and his outing, there's a guy that only gets noticed when he gives up runs and stuff. Ashby was filthy last night, to the point where I wondered, they had Uribe up. It's like, I get it. He's the closer. But, man, had to be tempting to send Ashby out there for another inning, because he is filthy, man. Miz's stuff is like, we've never seen, but Ashby's stuff is pretty spectacular too. What do you think of the way he's going and the way they're using him, and just like what his role might be? A multi-inning guy pitching the 8th and 9th? My thinking was, sign me up for that. Give Ashby the 9th, and then you got McGill and Uribe fresh for the series finale when you're going for the sweep.
Yeah, I wouldn't have totally disagreed with that. I think they are trying to, give Abner Uribe that closer role. I mean, it's clear they have switched that role over to Abner Uribe from Trevor McGill, and the Brewers have even made a little more of a closer entrance when he comes in now. You got a little more of an entrance for him. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out for you. I'm fine going with Uribe last night, but the problem with it is unfortunately, the Brewers have, and we haven't seen this out of a Brewers team in a while, where they just have some games this year in this first month and a half, 2 months of the season, where they're giving these leads up in the 9th inning, and we just don't see that. Whoever it is, McGill, Uribe, like, we're just not used to seeing that. We're used to seeing all-star closers in Milwaukee, and we all know, the Hader to Williams to even, McGill being an all-star last year. Like, these guys have been very consistent. And so to see inconsistency in that spot, you kind of, in years past, thought, okay, once you get to 7, 8, 9, you're in pretty good shape, even in a 1-0 lead. And last night just wasn't the case. Now, Uribe has been, I think, pretty good. I think he has the swagger of the closer. I think he has the mindset of the closer. And unfortunately, it didn't work out last night. A 1-run lead is tougher than, say, a 3-run lead when you're in a save situation. But boy, yeah, Aaron Ashby is a guy who can do it all. I mean, you saw him, I believe it was 9th and 10th against the Yankees on Saturday night. Like, he is in those leveraged positions. And I wouldn't be surprised if, matchups present themselves that they think Ashby is better than Uribe in that spot. Maybe you do see him in that. I mean, Ashby's just filthy. I mean, what he's making batters look like is just phenomenal. You're also seeing the way he can be used in multiple different roles. I also think the one of the interesting things we learned from Pat Murphy yesterday is they were talking about Chad Patrick a little bit, and he is a guy who was skipped in this rotation round. He pitched obviously twice out of the bullpen in the last 5 days. And Pat Murphy said that could kind of be his role. We know we can get length out of him, but will it be at the beginning of the game? Will it be in the middle of the game? Will it be at the end of the game? They kind of want to keep opponents off their toes when it comes to Chad Patrick. So he may end up getting a start here. Maybe even Saturday. We'll see once the probables come out, because they're going to need someone for Saturday, and who knows, he might be the guy, or it might be an opener for him. But it sounds like, and he kind of compared him to Ashby, saying, not necessarily the stuff level, but saying he could he emphasized be a, Aaron Ashby from the right side type of role that we see out of Chad Patrick moving forward, especially once Woody and Priester come back.
Makes some sense after how successful he was in the bullpen last year in the playoffs too, right?
Yeah.
Like to see it and see that you've been able to do it makes sense to take a swing at it. Any thought that you are looking to, skip Abner Uribe with an opportunity? I know he pitches back-to-back days, so probably unavailable today if you're in a save situation. Like Murph gave McGill a couple of opportunities. McGill's been not better, but maybe not still absolute nails to have any issue. Or do you think this is just a blip on the radar? And when you nearly decapitate your WBC teammate with the first pitch, was that just a doomed start or appearance from the start?
Yeah, that was yikes. I think he will get the next save opportunity, like you said, provided it's not today, because I do think someone else will get it today. I mean, likely McGill. I mean, McGill's pitched leverage in the 8th inning, and they're not afraid to give him leverage. They just haven't given him that save opportunity quite yet. I do think Abner Uribe is the closer until further notice, but I do also think it is possible that if he struggles again, they could be looking at another problem. Man, it's tough because then you're in a spot where 2 guys have failed in that. Are you going to give it to a third guy? You're going to go to your first guy? Like somebody's got to take hold of this position. I do think Uribe can do it and is the most likely for that. And you're not going to have it's rare that you have a closer like a Mason Miller who's just dominant in every.
He's the exception. Yeah,
exactly. The Hader, the William, like those guys in their heydays, like those that is the exception. So I think we kind of have to get used to maybe there is a time or two where these guys are going to fall, unfortunately. But I do think Uribe is the guy moving forward, at least for now.
No matter what we think about in 202026, pitchers will give up runs.
No,
I mean, we just get locked in. Fans think they should never give up runs, and it will happen.
It's true.
It's also interesting. Buster only had a great, really quick article about how this is a league-wide issue this year with instability at the closer position. And it's been, the Mason Miller is the exception to the rule, but most clubs that thought they had reliable closers are going through issues with their closer. Now, maybe that's just how, we do the same with kickers in football. We look at them differently, like the ceiling, the floor increases for what we think the standard of performance should be. But there's more teams that have more guys in that role trying to get saves than normal.
That's right.
This year.
That's true. All right, Hunter, on the way out here, the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin injury report. Yelich plays one day, out the next. Is he truly day-to-day? It's now his back, not his adductor. Where are we with him, and what's the updates on Priester and some of the others, Strizny and some of the other guys coming back?
Yeah, that was very interesting with Yelly yesterday. A little behind the scenes. We were talking to Pat Murphy before the game, and about halfway through the lineup came out, and I kind of looked at it, and I kind of had to take like a double and triple check, like, okay, is this it? Wait, am I missing something here? Why isn't Yelly in there? So then right before the end of the press conference, I asked Murph and was like, are you trying to ease him back? Like, what's going on here? And he's like, no, he had a sore back after last night. And he's like, Yelich wants to play, but I'm not going to chance it here. He's basically like, I'm not going to listen to him on this one. Murphy's a very player's coach, but he also has that bone in his body to say, we're going to keep you out. We're going to make the best decision, long-term health, instead of a Wednesday night game in May. We're going to make sure you're ready for June and July, and hopefully August, September, and October. I do wonder, he didn't even pinch hit last night. I would think that the Gary Sanchez pinch hit for Ortiz in the 9th, I would think that would have been Yelich if Yelich was available to do so. So that worries me a little bit. We'll see, obviously, if he's in the lineup today here in a few hours. Murph does not have a pregame availability, so we won't get to hear from him before the game. But otherwise, that does worry me a little bit. But again, he was a month off from playing in a game. Yes, you can simulate baseball activities. Yes, you can be on the field hitting and everything like that, but nothing simulates an actual game. And I think that is maybe it just kind of came back. His body was like, whoa, what are you doing? And hopefully it tones back down as we move forward. But yeah, otherwise everything's about the same as Monday as far as, Priester is going to start for the Timber Rattlers Saturday. Woodruff was scheduled for a bullpen today, which is good. Rob Z has started his rehab assignment. So Koenig threw a bullpen earlier this week. So everybody's on the road. And I would say that maybe of those, Rob Z is probably the more likely to come back first.
OrthoWisconsin.com, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Hunter Baumgardt, thanks for the update. Enjoy your day at the ballpark. Long day for you. Ballpark, and then Milwaukee's baseball tonight at 6 o'clock. Hunter, of course, brought to us by Import Minded.
Yes, absolutely. And just be careful if Jordan Schultz reports on a schedule release today.
Hunter Bears little director producer down in Chicago saying that there might be a Bears Packers Christmas Day game.
Might be.
I don't want anybody to be dead to you, but right now Bill Zimmerman is the one that's in the crosshairs if that's the case.
Yeah, they didn't get Thanksgiving, so I had a feeling maybe Christmas was on the docket. But yeah, it was last year that he said the Packers are playing. I think it was Christmas and not Thanksgiving, and then they ended up
flip that whole thing around.
It was and then they swapped the whole thing around, and at that point it was like, no, all right, that's it. I can't trust you, Jordan. Can't trust you.
Can't trust you. You're dead to me. Hunter,
never meet him in a Starbucks.
Thanks for joining us, Hunter.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Hunter Baumgardt. We're going to be back with a Wake and Bake story to close up shop on this Thursday edition. Get ready for the Brewers and Padres series finale and the schedule release. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Time to wrap things up on the Thursday edition of the Huddle. We do that with a Wake and Bake story presented by HappyPlaceHemp.com. Check out Rob and Chris, the best CBD products you'll find anywhere. Drift seltzer, gummies, all there for you at HappyPlaceHemp.com with the code Huddle, 25% off and free shipping. But if you're in the neighborhood in Muskego off College Avenue, across from Maddie's, just drop on by.
Right there.
Say hi to the boys. All right, Billy, what do you got for Waking and Bacon?
I don't know this individual, and I'm unfamiliar with Dalton Etherly's social media game called Judd the Builder, but I did look that up and made sure that I wasn't saying anything illegal there. 28-year-old, an incident outside of a Tennessee County, Montgomery County courthouse. Individual shot a gun off for a social media stunt. Ended with him hitting himself. Sustained gunshot wounds, was taken in for medical treatment, and also is now facing like 4 different accounts and 30 years in prison.
Wow.
Kids, social media is not worth it. Also,
clicks were worth it.
Bob the Builder. It's Bob the Builder, right? Can we still get Bob the Builder? Is he still on?
Good question. I don't know.
I want to watch Bob the Builder. I also, more importantly, would like to play with the toy because he had a You thought Tonka Trucks had a deal. Bob the Builder's toy line was buzzing there.
You have to swallow it. That's part of it.
Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. Jordan Schultz strikes again. Jordan Schultz just putting into the ether that the Jets will travel to the Titans for week 1 in a matchup against their former coach.
Oh, it's a banger. Come on now.
All right. We'll have the schedule tomorrow. We'll have Brewers Padres. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.